the nod this evening. Shirley with an outstanding effort against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs a week ago this morning. He beat them 5-1, striking out 7, giving up 1 run in 5 innings of work. But the Barnstormers hitters may have their work cut out for them this evening, as right-hander Mitch Talbot will be making the start, already his 3rd of the young campaign. Talbot is 1-0. He has not allowed an earned run in his 2 starts, both in that opening series against the New Britain Bees. He's given up only 7 hits and 2 walks in 10 innings of work over those 2 starts. The Barnstormers have slipped a little bit over their past couple of ball games. They're missing 2 of their weapons. Kyle Waldrop, we mentioned last night, retired. Rico Noel is not 100%. He will sit out again here this evening, and that makes it a little tougher to put those big rallies together, put those innings together. So the pitching may have to be a little bit tighter here the next couple of days until the Barnstormers can reload to be at full strength on the offensive side of the ledger. Well, as we mentioned last night, Sugar Land with the 9-2 victory, but one guy did come in to the ball game last night to cool off the Sugar Land bats, not just while he was in there, but for the remainder of the game, and that's the trickster, if you will, with submarine throwing Garrett Granitz. I had a chance to catch up with Garrett earlier today. We talk about how he developed the submarine style. We'll be back with his story in just a moment, right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
Hi everyone, Adam Gochnauer here for Gochnauer Appliances in East Petersburg. We are as excited as you that it's baseball season, and we are thrilled to once again be partnering with your Lancaster Barnstormers. We are also excited this season to introduce some awesome new appliance colors on display now. Come and see the new colors of slate, black stainless, and black slate. These colors will give your kitchen a great look, and of course all of them are at the best prices around now at Gochnauer's. I'll be back after the break to tell you about our special Barnstormers summer promotions.
Welcome back to this edition of the Gochnauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. The Barnstormers in the past have had the likes of Justin Siegel and, of course, Shunsuke Watanabe for a couple of years, and now pitching from down under is Garrett Granitz. And Garrett, first of all, formally welcome to Lancaster and glad to have you as a Barnstormer.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's awesome to be here.
Where did you learn to throw from the submarine style from that angle? It's not something that everybody picks up on. What brought you to that approach?
Yeah, in college, the first school I went to, they tried to convert me to a submariner, and I couldn't throw strikes doing it. So I transferred to Azusa Pacific University, and I pitched in 1 game in 2 years. So I needed to figure out a way to get on the field. So what I did is I started watching film on Chad Bradford, who's a former big leaguer, and also Watanabe when he was pitching in the Japanese league, and watched a ton of film on it and did a ton of yoga, stretching, and gradually dropped down, and have been working on it ever since.
How long did it take before you mastered it?
It's still in process. It's been 10 years for me now working on it. I started throwing like that my junior year of college, and it's just it starts with just trying to throw strikes, and then after that trying to add a second pitch. So right now I've got a slider that I just learned how to throw about 3 years ago. So it's taken a really long time, and it's just little improvements every day, just trying to figure out how to master it. And I'm still learning. I'm still watching. There's a submariner right now in the big leagues named Makita, and he pitches for San Diego. So I've been watching film on him every day, trying to pick up on what he does as well. So it's just trying to figure out little things to add to the repertoire every day.
You know, from down there, especially early on, you had to have had some mishaps with some balls getting away. Are there any particularly funny stories along that line?
Absolutely. The first time I got any opportunity in independent ball was in the Pecos League, and they had never seen me pitch before. They just saw a video of me, and they brought me in and put me in a game. And we were at home, and they were playing "We Will Rock You" when I came in, which I thought was kind of funny. And then my second pitch, my second pitch of warm-ups, my hand hit the ground, and the ball flew over to the opposing team's dugout. And I mean, in college, I've hit my hand on the ground and fallen over before. It's been there's been a lot of mishaps along the way. I haven't hit my hand on the ground now for probably about 4 or 5 years, but learning how to do it, it was a really long process, and it was a really I mean, there were some embarrassing moments along the way, obviously, like that. Hit my hand, not landing right, falling over, things like that. So
you would think that you would have a greater advantage against right-handed hitters, but so far you've been very effective against the lefties.
Yeah, that's you know, I think it just comes down to throwing strikes, honestly. Usually I am more effective against right-handed hitters. And it's still early in the season, but I think just throwing strikes and guys hitting against me, being aggressive early, it's something they haven't seen before. So I think it's just a tough adjustment for guys when they've seen 90, 92 the entire season in most of their careers, and then I come in throwing 77, 78. I think it's just a big adjustment for either side of the plate.
One thing I wasn't sure about is how you would fare the second time facing the same hitter in a series. But now you've had the opportunity to do that a couple of different times, and you were just as effective the second time as the first.
Yeah, I've thrown a lot against York in spring training and now. Again, it's just coming down to me just throwing strikes and making guys hit it, put the ball in play. I haven't been striking out a lot of guys, but I've been just trying to throw strikes and have guys try to put good swings on it. My ball's dropping a little bit, and a lot of guys have been over the top of it so far. So
now, back when you were in high school, growing up in the Madison, Wisconsin area, you threw over the top. You were part of a state championship team.
Yeah, we had an awesome team. We went 26-0, and I was over the top. I didn't throw hard, but I threw a lot of two seams, and you can get by with 80, 82 in Wisconsin high school baseball. So that's what I did, over the top. Never threw too hard. Just tried to throw strikes and have guys put it in play. Kind of the same approach as what I have now.
I lived in Wisconsin for 3 years. Could you get started much before like mid-April?
Absolutely not. I remember my first high school start. I think it was 30 degrees and snowing. So I've had a ton of games like that growing up. There, and then the first college I went to, University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, we'd start early, we'd go down to Arizona, play about 14 games down there, and then get back, and it'd still be snowing, we'd still be playing. So it kind of reminded me here in spring training, some of the cold weather, it reminded me of growing up in Wisconsin, playing in the snow, playing baseball in the snow. So
you went to Wisconsin-Whitewater, the Alabama of D3?
Yes, I did, for 1 year, and then I transferred to Azusa Pacific out the Los Angeles area. I couldn't handle the cold anymore. So
yeah, going from Madison, Wisconsin to LA, that had to be a change.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. It was awesome experience. So I absolutely loved the university, and that it opened my eyes to the talent that was out there in baseball, because high school baseball in Wisconsin isn't obviously as big as it is in the Los Angeles area. So it really opened my eyes how much talent there is out there and how hard you have to work to be able to succeed.
Packers, Brewers, or Bucks?
All three, absolutely. Big-time Packers fan, huge Brewers fan growing up, and I absolutely love the Bucks. Man, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Right now the Bucks have a bright future. Brewers are playing really well, had some great offseason signings, so I'm a big-time Wisconsin sports fan, all three of them.
And you've lost a little bit of your accent, I've noticed. You don't have that really sharp nasal tone anymore.
No, it's been a while. It's been 11 years now since I've lived in Wisconsin. I lived out in Los Angeles for 6 years, and now I live in Florida. So I think that time has kind of got me away from the accent. But I did get made fun of a lot right when I got to California by all my buddies about how I put an A in for any O in any vocabulary. So I think that probably got me to change a little bit.
Well, Garrett, thanks for taking time out tonight. Enjoyed it. And 2 innings last night. We probably won't see you tonight, but I'm sure we'll see you here later this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Garrett Granite's joining me tonight on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. Starting lineups come your way next here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Adam Gockenauer back with you again to tell you that we are back this season with Weber Gas Grills. We have the best selection and prices in the area on Weber, and if you mention this ad, you will receive 10% off all in-stock Weber accessories. Don't forget, we also fill your propane tanks here at the store. Don't waste money on exchanges when you can have us fill your tank and save you money. We are your appliance and gas grill headquarters. Come see us today on Main Street in East Petersburg or on the web at Gockenauers.com.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like Word Search, with top prizes of 20 grand.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Welcome back from Clipper Magazine Stadium, along with Andrew Mossbrooks, Dave Collins with you. Here are the starting lineups for tonight as Barnstormers trying to snap a mini skid of 2 games on the heels of a 5-game winning streak. Anthony Giancetti will lead off and play left field for the Skeeters tonight. The right fielder batting number 2 will be Kyle Kubica. Derek Norris will bat third. He's catching. The cleanup batter is the first baseman, Matt Chavez. Albert Cordero is batting 5th, playing third base. Courtney Hawkins, who had the biggest of the home runs last night, will bat 6th, and he will serve as the DH once again. Barrett Barnes is the center fielder, hitting 7th. Colin Walsh will be at second base and bat 8th. Ray Navarro, the shortstop, is hitting number 9, and if that lineup sounds familiar, Pete Incaviglia going with the if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality, same lineup that he used in last night's game. Mitch Talbot will start. He is 1-0 with a 0 ERA.
Why would you go against it, right? Ray Navarro did terrific yesterday, including his first at-bat here for the Sugarland Skeeters. It was a 10-pitch at-bat. He worked a full count, kept fouling a couple off until he got his pitch. Ball down and in, took it over the right field, and he did it twice. And on top of that, you've got a lot of guys in this lineup. You know, it's not hard to bat against. They're all going over 300 almost. A couple of guys 400, even 500. Also see Mitch Talbot take the mound, as you mentioned, and getting over to the Barnstormer lineups now.
For the Barnstormers, Darian Sanford will lead off in center. Tyler Bortnick will bat second at third base. Blake Galen is the right fielder, hitting third. Cleanup batter is the first baseman, Joey Terdoslavich. Trayvon Robinson is the DH, batting 5th. Ryan Castile will start behind the plate tonight and bat 6th. Keenan Walker is in left. Vladimir Frias, the shortstop. Carlos Garcia, the second baseman. And on the hill is Tommy Shirley. He is 1-0 in 1 start, 1 relief appearance. His ERA 4.26. Now down to the field for our opening ceremonies.
Please remain standing. Veterans are invited to salute the flag as we honor America with our national anthem, performed this evening by an octogenarian +8 and a resident of Willow Valley Communities. I give you Ken Wendrick.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and a bright star through the perilous night, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets with glare of a in air, they broke through the night, as our flag was still there. Oh, take up that star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That was 88-year-old Ken Wenrick with our national anthem this evening. He's not related to Isaac, as I understand, but same last name. Great job, as always, from Ken. We'll have the first pitch of tonight's game in just a moment here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Left-hander Tommy Shirley with the start tonight for the Barnstormers, his second of this season, along with one relief appearance. Shirley has covered 6 1/3 innings. He's allowed 8 hits, 3 earned runs. He has walked 1, and he has struck out 7. A native of North Huntington, Pennsylvania, 6 feet 5 inches tall, and checks in around 215. He has slimmed down quite a bit from last year. He says that has helped his cause. His numbers last year were not scintillating. He was 3-5 here with an earned run average over 6. But there were those times last year during spring training before he got hurt and then after he came back where you could see that there is really the makings of something special in Tommy Shirley. It can come and go still, but when he is on, he is electrifying with that herky-jerky motion. He'll be facing Anthony Giansani, the left fielder, leading off. For the Sugarland Skeeters, Giansani checks in 405 with a pair of home runs, 3 runs batted in. Last night he was 1 for 3 in the series opener. The motion by Shirley, he'll turn, he'll fire, and that first pitch is lined out the left field. On for it is Keenan Walker there to make the catch, and 1 out. So the first pitch is handled by Giansani, but he lines out the Walker. Now Kyle Kubica, the right fielder, to the plate.
And Giansani was more known for what he did on the other side, out in the outfield yesterday, especially at left. We talked about it in length, about how different that game could have been had it not been for a couple of really sharp plays.
Kubica steps in, 24 at-bats, 11 runs batted in already. The pitch to him from Shirley misses low and away. Ball 1, no strikes. Tommy Shirley working with a defense behind him of Tyler Bortnick at third, Vladimir Frias at short, Carlos Garcia at second. Bortnick and Garcia switching spots tonight. A first baseman once again is Joey Ternaslovich. Ball 2 gets away from Ryan Castile, who's handling the chores in back of the plate tonight. Walker is in left with Sanford in center and Galen out in right. Tommy Shirley turns. Here comes the 2-0. He finds the outside part of the plate. Called strike. It's 2-1.
You did tell me about his delivery. It is different.
Very different. A lot of moving parts to Tommy Shirley. Bill Worthington's got the plate tonight. Jorge Terran at first base. Silvio Martinez over at third. And the 2-1 offering rolled foul in the neighborhood of Derek Norris in the on-deck circle. And Shirley has brought the count back to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you can certainly appreciate a different arm and sometimes that different motion because it can deceive the hitters, much as we saw last night with Granite through his 2 innings of relief.
Shirley ready to go. Brings it home, a swing and a miss. Kubica unable to hold on the offering down and away. 2 up, 2 down for Shirley at the outset of the night. Derek Norris will step in. Norris is 9 for 32, 6 runs banded in. That's a .281 average.
Shirley's 8th strikeout of the season, 7 prior, including 1 in a relief appearance. A good start for Barnstormers pitching. Want to hold off this team. You know how offensive they can be after just game 1.
Inside and low to Norris. A ball and no strikes.
Remember, 4 home runs hit from the Skeeters last night in 1 game. They had just 7 in their entire 9 games at home to kick off the year. Of course, this is a more hitter-friendly park.
It's somewhat reversed of Sugarland. Sugarland's very reachable to left field. Right field, forget about it. You know, the Barnstormers went 2 seasons before they hit a home run to right field at Constellation. Andrew Clark was the first to manage. There's a tap out in front of the plate, and Castile pounces on it, applies the tag, and after all of that, it's ruled a foul ball.
Well, Castile doing the right thing, though. Just hop right in front of that ball. Don't take it until the umpire tells you what it is.
Tag first, ask questions later.
Exactly.
1-2, the count on the bearded Derek Norris, longtime major leaguer. Some time in Oakland. 6 years total at the big league level. Tommy Shirley brings home the 1-2. Fastball misses high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just a light breeze blowing straight out here this evening. Again, hardly a cloud in the sky. Tonight you can find 1 or 2 small high clouds, which is more than we had last night.
Yeah.
Here's a 2-2. The offering missing. Norris has worked to a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I wouldn't mind more clouds, though, with this. Although the weather is nice. Good temperature. Good day for a baseball game. Tomorrow will be a good morning for a baseball game, it looks like.
Late afternoon could get rocky tomorrow. Here's the 3-2. Ball 4 is off the inside corner. And the league's top hitter now will step in. Matt Chavez, the first baseman, hitting .553. That's scary.
Yeah, well, he had a couple of hits last night. At one point raised it over 600 before getting put out in the last couple. Don't forget, though, Barnstormer pitching accounted for 8 walks for Sugarland yesterday. That is not the recipe for success. It's only 1 right now, but certainly a number you want to limit and establish that early in this contest.
Ross Peoples was troubled by that last night. 8 walks is never a good thing.
You know, Ross.
Briefly.
You know, Ross. So what do you think bothered him more, 4 home runs or the 8 walks?
Most people who have been on the pitching side of things troubled more by the 8 walks.
Yeah.
Walks are toxic. Now, there is every once in a while where you'll have that pitcher who's effectively wild and will walk 6 or 7 guys and only give up a hit or 2 and not get burned. Grounded foul off the end of the bat. Strike 1 to Chavez. The on-deck batter is the switch-hitting third baseman, Albert Cordero.
Well, and I guess in some ways walks generally would hurt you more because you're putting more guys on base and then the home runs come and it accounts for more.
Bounce toward the middle, near the second base bag is Bortnick. He'll step right on the bag, which is painted red here this evening. The out goes 4 unassisted. You should have said Bortnick. It's Garcia out there. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base at the end of a half. It is Sugarland nothing. The Barnstormers coming up.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Mitch Talbot has a lengthy amount of experience in professional baseball that includes parts of 3 seasons and really all of 1 season in the major leagues. He pitched for Tampa Bay and Cleveland. He was a 10-game winner for the Tribe back in 2011. He hails from Cedar City, Utah, 34 years of age, 6'1", and 180 pounds. This is his 16th professional season.
So he's not going to have the velocity he used to, but here's a guy who can throw a 2-seam fastball, and he's a 4-pitch pitcher, which makes him a little deadly with that. Aside from the fastball, which he'll throw majority of the time, he's got a changeup, cutter, slider that he mixes in a little bit as well. Expect that fastball to tinker off around high 80s, 88, 89.
Here's Darian Sanford, fresh off a hitless night. He takes the first pitch, loops this to left center field, sinking in a hurry. That is in for a base hit. Knocked down by the bare hand of Barrett Barnes. He'll keep it in front. Sanford will hold on with the blue pit, the left center field. Talbot already has a challenge on his hands. Sanford is the league's top base thief with 8 already this year.
Yep, and good way to start too, just like that. Just get a hit, and this is the most dangerous guy when it comes to putting on base, as you already mentioned. Across the Atlantic League, he's dangerous, and now we see a challenge between Talbot and Sanford.
You've got a veteran major league battery in Mitch Talbot and Derek Norris. We'll see if Sanford can take off on it. A throw goes to first base, and Darian scrambles back. Talbot's coming off a very good year with the Skeeters. He was 9-3, an ERA just incrementally over 3 a year ago. But the one team that got to him was Lancaster. The Barnstormers faced him for 8 innings, picked up 15 hits off of him, handed him one of his 3 losses. Another throw to first. Sanford scrambles back in.
And you'll see this a lot whenever Sanford is on that first base bag, especially. Pitchers are going to challenge him. Sanford welcomes that challenge, talking to him over the weekend against York. And he was very productive in that 3-game series that started here at Clipper Magazine Stadium.
Batter is Bortnick, 182 with a home run, 8 runs batted in. Another throw to first base. That is 3.
I hope you're not tired of that, Dave. I saw Severino for York in the middle game of that series do it 8 times.
Matt Chavez holding the runner. Colin Walsh at second. Ray Navarro at short. Albert Cordero at third. Giansani, Barnes, and Kubica, the outfield from left to right. Sanford takes off. The pitch is low. The throw by Norris bounces in, and Sanford's got the steal, his 9th. Darian, truthfully, did not get a great jump there, and a good throw from Norris, I think, would have had him. It looked like he skidded a little bit coming off the bag at first, maybe the second or third step.
Yeah, when I saw that ball hit the catcher's glove to Norris, I actually thought that throw would have got him out, but just not a good arm behind home plate, I guess, in that case. And the Barnstormers, just like that, runner in scoring position.
The throw was bounced and it hopped up, and
That's
Sanford
true.
was able to get in underneath the tag. Bortnick batting at 1 ball and no strikes. Corners pinch in here against Tyler. Sanford leads from second. The offering is lifted on the right side, foul territory. Coming over Chavez, he's got to play and makes the catch. Bortnick cannot advance the runner to third, and obviously the Barnstormers really would like to have him there. Blake Galen will be the hitter. And again, I don't know if Sanford is going to want to risk taking third against a veteran battery with a left-hander at the plate. He's done it before, but not necessarily with the level of experience that you have out there with Talbot and Norris.
Yeah, well, we talked about the Sugar Land team. You know, you compare Lancaster to them, and what do we have to go off of? The couple series against York and the series against Southern Maryland, who's proven to be a not-so-great team early on. This is a whole different ball club. A lot of productive hitters, as that's a first-pitch strike to Galen, but yeah, a lot of productive hitters we talked about, and a lot of experience on this ball club, especially on the mound right now.
Joey Turdoslavich waits on deck. The one advantage Sanford would have here is that Cordero, again, is playing way off the third base bag. So he'd have to hustle over to cover if Sanford should get up ahead of steam. He does go. The pitch is low. The throw by Norris is into left field. Sanford will break for the plate. The throw coming in from Giansani, that is high. And Darian Sanford, with his wheels, has scored the first run of the game. He steals second. He steals third. He induces a bad throw. And the Barnstormers grab the 1-0 lead.
So 2 steals and a error in the throw, I believe?
Yes.
Good stuff from Sanford. Way to get around the bags quick. And, you know, after a game like last night, the goal is to get the taste out of your mouth as quick as possible and show this Skeeters team that you can compete with them, because that's what it is. It's an early season measuring stick with the 2 best teams in the division. And you got to jump out and get that lead.
Here's a 1-1 offering to Galen. Blake tries to hold on the swing and does, but the pitch catches the bottom of the zone. A second strike. Blake batting 1 and 2. 1-0 Barnstormers, lower half of the first inning. Darian Sanford pretty much doing it himself, and that's not the first time. You could call that a Darian Sanford home run. He still doesn't have an official home run during the regular season here in the Atlantic League, but that's his version of it.
You'll take what you can get, right?
Reaching base, stealing second, stealing third, drawing a bad throw. It's a Galen 2-2 offering. Popped up foul and out of play. Ricky Henderson, arguably the greatest leadoff hitter of all time because of the walks and the stolen bases. Also carried a lot of power, and he could beat you either way. He could have a Darian Sanford home run or a regular home run. It's a Galen 2-2 breaking ball. That is strike 3 called. Blake got crossed up there. He goes down looking, and Turdoslavich will step in. Joey at 289. He has 2 home runs, 10 runs batted in. At the moment, the run is unearned. That will change if Turdoslavich were to deliver a base hit right now.
And Turdoslavich also credited for being on base a few times last night as well, which was good after he had a couple of games in which didn't have his most productive games at the plate. That changed. Also walked, a couple of base hits.
Fastball in at the knees for a strike called. It's 0-1. Talbot doing a nice job here of keeping the ball down to the Barnstormers' left-handed power. Although sometimes the lefties like it there. Foul ball into the net. Talbot working ahead of Turdoslavich. No balls, 2 strikes.
Now we were talking about Sanford, and he can do a Darian Sanford home run running around the bags after being put on. This guy can hit a natural home run. He's already done that a couple of times. They've been moonshots out of here.
Turdoslavich backs away, taps both corners of the plate, ready to go against Talbot. Right-hander has the signal, and the 0-2 is on the way. Turdoslavich gets jammed, hits a slow roller right side of the infield. Playing highlight with it, the second baseman Walsh. He's able to feed Chavez. Never shifted the ball to his throwing hand. 4-3 on the conversion. The Barnstormers get a run, a hit, an error. Nobody left on base at the end of an inning. Lancaster is up 1-0.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Well, for the second consecutive game, the Barnstormers take the 1-0 lead into the second inning. It didn't hold up very long last night.
No, last night's second inning was not a good one, so there's room for improvement.
Courtney Hawkins last night with a 3-run homer to right before the first out could be recorded. In the top of the second, Tommy Shirley looks for better here. Albert Cordero will lead off. This guy has been an unsung player for Sugar Land over the past year or two. He's not the biggest of guys, Albert Cordero, 5'11", 175. But he hit one of their home runs last year. He's batting .353, and at least for the moment, he has shifted out to play third base. We've seen him there at times in the past under Gary Gaetti, but he's fitting that role pretty well right now. Tommy Shirley to the plate, and his fastball in for a strike call. It's 0-1. Courtney Hawkins will follow, and then Barrett Barnes, 5, 6, and 7 in the lineup for the Skeeters. Shirley back into the motion. His 0-1 pitch bends low, a ball and a strike. Cordero from Caracas, Venezuela.
Was one of those 4 home run hitters last night for Sugar Land.
He hit the 4th one.
Back in the 5th inning.
That was off of Marksbury. He hit it right-handed, swinging a foul right at the plate. We go to 1-2. 2 of the home runs were hit from the left side, 2 from the right side last night. Both the Navarros were left-handed. Now, he's a switch hitter.
Right.
Cordero hit his right-handed, and Courtney Hawkins is a right-handed hitter all the way. And the home runs last night came from 5 through 9 in the batting order. You can get them out of 3 and 4 hitters.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Rico Noel on Saturday for the Stormers was batting 9th, and he was so effective in the 9-hole, 4 hits on 5 at-bats, and then the next day he was the leadoff hitter.
2-2, line drive, pass Frias into left field, a leadoff base hit for Cordero. This Sugar Land team is hitting everything they see. Hawkins will come to the plate, 256 with 3 home runs and 9 runs batted in.
You mentioned he was the big bat from yesterday in the second inning.
He is one of at least 4 players tied for second in the league with 3 home runs. Long Island's David Washington has 4. The Ducks have been putting up unconscionable numbers of runs, too. Right there for a strike called. It is 0-1.
They won that one game 27-9.
27-9.
I'd hate to be the scorekeeper for that one.
I thought it was the Jets and the Redskins.
A football game.
Golly. Chopper toward third, again foul.
Now, who's the Redskins in that case?
Southern Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just going geographically. The Giants, Jets. Historically, the Jets are Long Island's team. And the delivery here. That misses. Ball 1, 2 strikes. And Southern Maryland's closer to FedEx Field than it is to M&T Bank Stadium. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hawkins, and Shirley misses upstairs. 2-2. Runner at first is Cordero, who can run. He's got 1 stolen base for the season. He's not Darian Sanford.
No, he's not.
Who is, except for Darian Sanford.
Answered my second question.
2-2. Ground ball, shortstop. Could be 2. Out at second. Garcia relays back to first in time for the double play on Courtney Hawkins. A bang-bang shrimp double play. We celebrate day 2 of National Shrimp Day here at the stadium. 2 outs, nobody on. Barrett Barnes, the center fielder, will step in.
Also celebrating some Wiener Wednesday. Got some dogs in the park. Dollar Burke's hot dogs available as well.
Barnes, the center fielder, at 206. He was 0 for 2 last night. Walked twice and was hit by a pitch. Shirley a little bit off the inside corner here. Ball 1, no strikes. Lancaster up 1-0. Top half of the second inning. Middle game of a 3-game set. We end it tomorrow morning. Logan Bauckham against Joe Gardner as the Barnstormers go back around to the top of their rotation. Inside 2-0. Switch hitting second baseman Colin Walsh waits on deck. 3 switch hitters in the lineup tonight for Pete Incaviglia. Right straight through, a strike call to Barnes, 2-1. The Barnstormers have Sanford, Jardoslavich, Robinson, Walker, Frias, and Garcia. They've got the entire contingent, 6 switch hitters in the batting order. 2-1 on the way. Shirley deals, and he is slightly high.
And having the switch hitters helped yesterday in some way, Grosset, because they got 8 hits off of him. It just didn't, none of them came across the plate. We talked about it. They didn't do bad hitting.
The Barnstormers hit the ball well last night, just not necessarily in a timely or fortuitous manner. Popped up, foul territory. Here comes Terdoslavich. Joey drops it in front of his own dugout. He took one step too many. The wind may have shoved it back. He loses the grip, and as a result, Barrett Barnes still has life in the AB. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Barnes. And we'll see if an error is assigned to Terdoslavich there. It's certainly an option.
I thought, I would have asked you. I wasn't sure. It looked playable.
And there is ball 4 inside. Shirley giving up the base on ball. Second he is allowed. Now you've got their top base stealer on.
Yeah, that's what you hate to see. You know, it looks like an easy play over on the first base side towards the dugout, and you drop that one maybe because the sun a little bit, maybe because the wind is blowing out a bit.
An error has been put on the board.
Yeah.
Shirley to the plate. Popped up foul, knocked out a play to the right. Colin Walsh batting no balls and a strike. Walsh was 0 for 5 last night. He struck out twice, popped out twice, and flied out to center. Shirley having to face a base runner. Barnes leading off first with 2 outs. Shirley will come to the plate and deliver another strike. He's ahead of Walsh, 0-2. On deck is the shortstop Navarro, who greeted the Atlantic League quite noticeably last night. Made his presence felt early.
I'm trying to get out of this inning before I face him.
Not exactly being a wallflower, just coming in shyly and quietly.
What was the story? Like we said, it was...
He announced his presence with trumpets.
Yeah.
Upstairs to Walsh.
First pitch was 7 o'clock last night. We're running around at about 6, a little after 6, asking, what's this Navarro guy's number? Didn't even know that at the time, and then he goes and clobbers 2 of them over right field. One of them just barely. The first one, though.
Down the right field side by Walsh, but fading foul.
No, that first one he hit, though, that was, you said it, you think it might have been gone in any of the ballparks in the Atlantic League.
Yeah, except for maybe his own. But Navarro hit that first one really well. We talked about it after the game last night. That was the one home run that's a home run at least most places. The others might not have gotten out in a lot of ballparks. But they all count here.
That's right.
1 and 2 to Walsh. Barnes not going anywhere. Ball 2 is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tommy Shirley could have been out of the inning. The Barnstormers are having problems defensively. And it's something they were out there working on defense earlier today, but I don't know if you can work on foul pop-ups in the dirt. That is knocked down by Castile. Now a full count, and we know Barnes is running.
And guys will tell you all they want, you know, during BP and what you're practicing and working on, you know, you just can't get ready for a game situation without being in a game. And I think that's almost universal across sports.
3-2, runner goes, ball 4 is inside. Oh my. An inning Tommy Shirley should have been out of. Now presents runners at first and second with 2 outs. And Ray Navarro coming to the plate. Navarro 2 for 3 with a walk last night. Both his hits home runs.
Yeah, this is where you say, you know, let's not have a repeat of last night around right around this time. You know, Navarro's came a little bit later, and we said it. Last night, his was not the important home run that was hit in the second inning. This time it could be.
The delivery in for a strike from Shirley. It is 0-1. Tommy Shirley's already walked 3 on the heels of 8 walks last night.
Navarro being one of them after his 2 hit home runs.
To Navarro 0-1. That ball is grounded to Terdoslavich. Joey well wide of the bag, handles it, and takes it right to the base. It'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. Sugar Land Maroons 2 at the end of 1.5. Still 1-0 Lancaster.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids base run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Trayvon Robinson leads off here in the second. He'll be followed by Ryan Castile and Keenan Walker. Lancaster with a 1-0 lead, created almost exclusively by Darian Sanford in that opening inning. Blue base hit, a steal of second, a steal of third, and a bad throw by Derek Norris.
Equally avoiding some danger in that top of the second.
Here's Robinson. Trayvon batting .313. 2 of his 3 extra base hits are triples. You won't see that terribly often.
No.
A ball is inside 1-0. A lot of room down that third base stripe for Trayvon, who's a pretty good opposite field hitter. This one driven toward right center field. Barnes on the run after it. He won't get there. And that ball is kicking around in right center field. Here goes Trayvon again. He's steaming for third. He'll be in standing with a leadoff triple. Make it 3 for Trayvon Robinson.
You mentioned it. That ball, once it's hit out towards right center, it kicks around a little bit, and that made it difficult for the center fielder to make that play. So credit to Trayvon for recognizing that. Barrett Barnes couldn't get there fast enough, and you mentioned standing up triple, nobody out. And this is another chance for the Barnstormers. Now, this was something they didn't do yesterday, and that was maximize their opportunities and get a couple more runs after that first inning. Let's see if they can change that here.
And Sugar Land will concede a run here. They're playing the infield back. Castile dribbles one foul, down a strike at his 0-1. Ryan at .313 with 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in. He was guilty last night of hitting the ball straight at people. Every time he connected, he hit the ball hard. It's a couple of diving catches out and left by Giansani. The ball is low, 1-1. The last time up, he wrapped a crisp grounder right at the shortstop, Navarro.
A lot of loud contact last night from Castile. And as you mentioned, they'll concede a run, but he's got to put it into play.
Next offering, wrapped foul on the ground outside third base. Talbot has him at 1-2. He's going to go for the jugular here. He wants the strikeout. He'll take an out in any manner that doesn't bring Robinson home from third base.
We didn't see a lot of strikeouts last night.
Keenan Walker's on deck, then Vladimir Frias. You have 3 shots at it. 1-2 is outside and low. Norris trying to frame it, but it didn't work.
And Lancaster pitching have been strikeout machines this year going into yesterday.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Talbot ready to go. He's working out of the full wind. That's hammered to center. Back on this goes Barnes. He'll leap up and draw that in. Easily scoring is Trayvon Robinson coming home from third on the sacrifice fly by Ryan Castile, and the Barnstormers take a 2-0 lead. That's something this ball club has been extremely good at doing. Generally, we've seen Barnstormers teams drive in the runner from third base with fewer than 2 outs, maybe 55 to 60% of the attempts. But this ball club has been absolutely magnificent at it, doing it around 75% of the time. With 1 out, here is Keenan Walker taking a pitch outside and low. 4 for 15 for Walker, getting more playing time now since Kyle Waldrop left.
You mentioned that being a tough loss for Lancaster.
Check swing and a foul away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Keenan. Facing another native of Utah in Mitch Talbot. Keenan right from Salt Lake City. Now living in Arizona. To the inside corner for a second strike. It's 1-2. Vladimir Frias, the shortstop, waits on deck. Barnstormers have pummeled a couple of pitches this inning.
Well, once again, I mean, the ball is getting well hit. First time around it worked. Second time, kinda.
Walker swings and misses the pitch in the dirt. Norris will fire to first base. The put out officially going 2-3. That is the second strikeout for Talbot. 2 men now gone. Vladimir Frias will come to the plate. 306 for Vladimir with 3 doubles and a pair of runs batted in. 0 for 4 last night for Vladimir. The Barnstormers have a player coming in next week. And it may work, it may not work. It's going to be an interesting story regardless. And a more interesting story if this fellow can rekindle what was once a very promising career.
So he's a position player.
Yes.
What's his highest level?
Single A.
All right.
0-1 to Frias. Yet another switch hitter. Ground ball into the left side defense. Up with it eventually the shortstop Navarro. He'll fire on for the out. Barnstormers get the leadoff triple and at least pick up that run. 1 run, 1 hit with no errors, nobody left on base. We're done with 2. Lancaster now leading 2-0.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all you can eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like word search, with top prizes of 20 grand.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
All right, on to the third inning here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and the Barnstormers with a 2-run lead over the Sugarland Skeeters. This, the middle game of a 3-game set with the current front runners in the division being Sugarland, an 8-2 record after a 9-2 victory last night. But so far, Tommy Shirley looking okay. I ran into a little bit of trouble in the second inning, but he was able to clear the plate.
Well, a double play certainly helped.
It absolutely will.
6-4-3 on the ground ball by Hawkins. Giansani lined out the left on the first pitch Shirley threw tonight. A little more patience here from the left fielder. Taking a strike. It is 0-1. Tommy Shirley comes back. Breaking ball tap foul. It's 0-2. Kubica and Norris will follow. And Andrew and I are almost to the point where we can see.
I was going to say I'm getting there. Don't need the folder over my eyes anymore. Give it another inning. I think we'll be okay.
2-0 our score in favor of the Barnstormers. Shirley works no balls, 2 strikes to Giansanti and wastes a pitch low. Not tempting to the one-time Bridgeport Bluefish outfielder and occasionally infielder. Got to display a little bit more versatility during his time in Bridgeport. He had this kind of a start last year, too.
Productive start.
Ball 2.
Batting .405. Team as a whole batting .298. That's the thing when it comes to facing Sugar Land. You just really can't win. There's no easy at-bat that Barnstormers pitching is going to get in this game or in this series.
Off the inside corner, and Shirley now has gone to 3-2. The 3 walks he has given up, if I remember correctly, at least a couple of the batters, he's been ahead and hasn't been able to get that third strike call.
Yeah, first pitch strikes to everybody but 2 batters he has faced.
Payoff pitch on the way to Giansanti. Fouled back, ringing off of Castile.
Yeah, 7 of the 9 batters he's faced. Prior to going into Giansanti through the lineup, threw 7 first pitch strikes to them.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Anthony Giansanti.
Although yesterday we talked about a little bit of a squeezing of the strike zone. I don't know that I'm seeing that as much today.
Here's a payoff. Fouled back to the top of the screen. Still 3-2. Giansanti forcing the at-bat to pitch number 8. Barnstormers have gotten their leadoff man aboard each inning and been able to work him around. Payoff pitch is due. Giansanti will take the walk. Shirley has given up 4. Now Kyle Kubica will step in, and he was a strikeout victim in the first inning, the only one so far for Shirley. Tommy will try and find that double play pitch again. Kubica, 8 out of 16, his last 4 games, red hot. Like most of this lineup. Shirley to the plate, and it's chopped foul. 0-1. So the trend continues here, Andrew. Tommy Shirley getting ahead of hitters, having a hard time finishing them off.
Yeah, well, you're talking about the team that has the league lead in batting average right now. What does that tell you? They're going to give you professional at-bats. They're going to work around pitch counts.
Fastball is high, and we go to 1-1.
And you're going to see guys sit on their pitches, and I saw that with Ray Navarro more than anybody yesterday on this team, and he was an addition to the club. So they're going to give you a lot of trouble for opposing team pitching.
Giansanti has a couple of steals, out to a lead, not going. Ball lashed foul into the visiting dugout. Kyle Kubica, we'll hear about that later. If they have kangaroo court, money goes in the box.
Well, it doesn't look like anybody got dinged from it.
It looked like it rattled around in the ice buckets down there.
Yeah. Hopefully that didn't hit anybody's Gatorade cup.
1-2 to Kubica. Shirley stares over toward first. He'll come to the plate. Ball 2 is high. Delayed steal. Castile with a late throw, and Giansanti catches the Barnstormers off guard. His 3rd stolen base. They move a runner into scoring position, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Kubica.
Yeah, not sure what Castile was thinking behind the plate there. It looked like, first off, Giansanti had a pretty good lead off first, and then he was running there. At that point, you didn't even need to throw the ball over. He was going to be there.
It was a delayed steal. He did not go right away. He waited for that pitch. He snuck over on the Barnstormers. Swing and a miss. Shirley fans Kubica for the 2nd time tonight. Big first out here in the 3rd inning. And now Derek Norris will step in. He drew the first of the 4 walks issued by the left-hander so far in the game. Runner still at second base with 1 out. Well, they'll need a base hit or some mistakes defensively by the Barnstormers to get this run home. They can't do it on outs. First pitch strike in on Norris. It's 0-1.
There's another one. Another first pitch strike.
That has not been an issue.
No, it is not. But it's working into these counts and getting this pitch count a little high that is troublesome for Shirley.
0-1, ground ball left side. It'll be cut off by Bortnick. He's got a fire across the diamond. It is there. Norris is out 5-3. Giansani able to sneak over to third behind the play. Matt Chavez to the plate. Chavez grounded into an inning-ending force out back in the first inning. The Barnstormers have him 0 for his last 4 now. That's a dire slump for Matt Chavez.
It is.
By his standards that he's set so far this year.
League leading at .553, second in the league in slugging percentage with a .789.
2 outs with the man at third. The pitch fouled away.
Again into the dugout.
0-1 on Matt Chavez. Right-handed batter all the way, and we detailed his career last night. Not a lot of time in major league organizations, but this guy, an independent league superstar.
Yeah.
He's had some great years in the American Association. Shirley's pitch, elevated foul to the right and out of play. Tommy's ahead of him, no balls, 2 strikes.
He looked at that one a little bit too. Stepped out of the batter's box and just kind of gave a little bit of a sigh. I think Chavez found a pitch that he liked and just wasn't able to make the right contact with it.
0-2 on the way. Tommy Shirley full windup, fires high, ball 1. Third baseman Albert Cordero waits on deck.
Here's where I wonder, and we talk about first pitch strikes, but he's worked a lot of 0-2 counts as well, and I just wonder if Shirley's out there nibbling a little bit, trying to get that perfect pitch across instead of just putting the ball into play.
The 1-2 is on the way to Chavez. Look out. Fastball spins him around. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at third, 2 outs. Lancaster leading by 2 here in the top half of the third inning. Runner into scoring position for Sugar Land for the second inning in a row. The 2-2 off the outside corner. Now a full count. And this is the pattern that's been established tonight.
Yeah, from an 0-2 to a full count. And it's, again, I'm going to talk about the batters and just, they're waiting on it. But now at the same time, you look at that pitch right before there, it was so high on Chavez.
3-2 coming. The payoff on the way. He got him a swing and a miss. Chavez is gone on strike. Shirley has fanned his third. In the third inning, the leadoff walk goes to waste. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 stranded. We'll go to the bottom of the third inning with the Barnstormers ahead 2-0.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding third row. Room for up to 7. And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL Hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
Second baseman, Carlos Garcia.
Second baseman Carlos Garcia ready to lead off here in the home half of the third inning with the Barnstormers up by 2. Garcia trying to follow his predecessors in the leadoff capacity in this game by getting on base and scoring. 6 out of 17 for Garcia. A couple of runs batted in. Talbot deals outside a ball. Cordero charging in from third as Garcia indicated that he might bunt. I don't know if he ever actually planned to. He drew the bat back with plenty to spare. Cordero's still well up on the grass.
Saw a lot of guys practicing bunts in BP today.
There's a chopper over toward third, but hit too slowly to get past Cordero. He'll gun down Garcia. 5-3. I'll tell you what, that was the right idea, but Garcia simply didn't hit the ball hard enough.
Yeah.
With Cordero playing up as far as he was and well off the line, Garcia trying to get a ball past him to the right and down the line, an easy double if he can do it, but the ball was chopped slowly, giving Cordero a play.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be hit high in the air either for that double to happen. A couple feet up.
Or just right inside the line and straight on the ground, too. Here is Darian Sanford. He displays bunt and draws it back for ball 1.
And, of course, here's a guy who can display bunt and get one and then get on base.
Cordero is not going to let Darian Sanford bunt him. He is almost to the pitcher's mound. 1 ball, no strikes. Inside ball 2, 2-0. Sanford can hit the ball a lot harder than the Sugarland Skeeters realize. I've seen him do it 3 or 4 times this year, and Cordero could lose a set of teeth. Darian taking all the way here, looks to strike. It's 2-1, 1 out, nobody aboard in the third inning. Tyler Bortnick waits on deck.
Had a hitting streak snapped yesterday when he went 0 for 5.
Or an on-base streak anyway.
Or rather, yes.
A new one started tonight. 2 balls and a strike. He tries to drag bunt and leaves it behind. Sanford batting 2-2.
Yeah, now I think he puts the bunt away, right?
Well,
he goes to swing on
he
this one.
should. But it's Sanford, and they'll take nothing completely for granted. Cordero backs up some, but he's still on the grass.
And I guess you never can doubt Darian Sanford.
Talbot ready to go. 2-2 offering. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. The second called third strike tonight against the Barnstormers. Tyler Bortnick will come to the plate. Bortnick fouled out back in the first inning.
Sanford stayed, took a look at that one a little bit. I don't know if that's a strike. It sure was inside, and from our view, it looked pretty well inside.
5 in a row set down by Talbot since the Trayvon Robinson triple that opened up the second inning. Here's Bortnick with 2 outs. And a fastball right there, strike 1 called.
Bill Worthington behind home plate. He is not going to earn himself a lot of fans tonight with some of these.
Well, Sanford will stare a lot. Bortnick chopper past the mound. 1 hop actually to Talbot. He'll throw on for the out in an easy inning for Mitch Talbot. Bottom of the third, nothing across. At the end of 3, 2-0 Lancaster.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st, at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
We move on to the top of the fourth inning here in Clipper Magazine Stadium. Dave Collins is alongside myself, Andrew Mossbrooks here. And Mitch Talbot against Tommy Shirley so far, and the Barnstormers carrying a 2-0 lead with them. Starting in the fourth inning, it'll be Albert Cordero, who had a hit earlier back in the second inning, but nothing pushed across the plate. There was a little bit of trouble in that second inning, although Shirley was able to avoid it. Now, there have been 4 walks thrown by him, and the pitch count has risen to 60 over 3 innings work. So you'd like to see that dialed down a little bit here, and we'll see if that can happen in the top of the fourth.
2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Barnstormers, who have stranded nobody. Here's Shirley's pitch to Cordero. That is lifted in the air down the right field line. Backing up is Galen, and the walls will not contain it. Cordero goes oppo on the Barnstormers again, and it's 2-1. They have been able to play to this ballpark.
5th home run hit in 2 days.
All to right field, and probably only one gets out in most places.
Yeah, that one not being one of them.
It just got up onto the porch, but a home run, 2-1. And here is Courtney Hawkins. He grounded into a double play first time up. Can't repeat that. A check swing. He did not go.
3 home runs on the year for Hawkins, and one of them was last night in right field, a 3-run shot in the second. Just like that, lead cut in half.
First run on the board for Sugar Land. Now Hawkins looks at a fastball up, and it's ball 2. Just 2 hits for the Skeeters tonight. They have left 4 guys on base, and they have an error, which has not been put on the scoreboard, but it is there. Ball 3 is off the inside corner, 3-0, and Shirley now on the verge of walk number 5.
And Joey Turdoslavich, given the other error in this game, ball that was popped up on the first base side by the dugout, was unable to get to it, and then leading to one of those 5 walks.
Hawkins turned loose on the 3-0. Decided he didn't really like the pitch, but couldn't hold up. 3-1. Might have been ball 4 inside, but he went after it. Far enough, anyway.
Yeah, my apologies. 4 walks. Well, it could be a 5th one.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. This is popped up. Tyler Bortnick behind the third base bag, almost at the third base bag, there to handle it. Hawkins pops out, 1 away. Stepping in now, the center fielder, Barrett Barnes, who had his plate appearance kept alive on that drop foul pop-up, eventually drawing a walk. But while that didn't cost the Barnstormers a run back in the second inning, it did cost Shirley maybe about 10 pitches.
It did. Yes, it did. And then don't forget, after that, Barnes able to reach second on a stolen base.
Smashed, and a fair ball inside the third base bag down the line. Going after it now, Keenan Walker, and he will hold Barnes at second on a double. Barnes coming around the bag. Just inside the third base bag and a fair ball.
Game of inches sometimes, and you're exactly right.
Colin Walsh to the plate. He walked back in the second inning. Silvio Martinez had to dance out of the way before signaling fair ball.
Yeah.
That one was headed right for his toes. It was that close to the line. He positions himself there in foul territory just outside the line. His toes just about on the stripe, and he nearly got nailed.
He was in the line of fire.
Breaking ball is low to Walsh. Ball 1, no strikes. The Barnstormers lead trimmed back to 1, and Sugar Land with a man in scoring position. 1 out here in the fourth inning.
Colin Walsh bringing with you another.
Fouled away.
Just about to say, brings with you another guy from Sugar Land that has some big-time experience in the majors, going back to 2016 with the Milwaukee Brewers. More a cup of coffee there than anything else, but still, when you've made it to the show, that's something you never forget.
Last year was in Fresno, AAA with the Astros. 1 ball, 1 strike, and he looks at a fastball poured in for the second strike. It is 1-2. Shirley has been in fairly consistent trouble. Bouncing the next offering, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And again, he may be trying a little too hard for the strikeout.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. You know, he gets ahead of a guy 0-2, and then you start to nibble a little bit and look for that perfect pitch to get a guy to swing on.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Navarro's on deck. Barnes leading off second. You've got to keep an eye on him. He'll stay put. Ball is chopped over to Lincoln Juice Gums in the coaching box at third.
And you know what I see? I think a lot of guys.
I have not met him yet.
You haven't?
I have not.
What would you say to him if you met him? Your first things.
Hi, I'm Dave. What else?
Want some gums?
Offering is inside, 3-2, and again, a Sugarland batter working the count against Tommy Shirley. This is the problem Tommy had last year whenever he pitched against Somerset. They would just wait him out and grind him down. Here's the 3-2, ground ball left side, diving try. Bortnick comes up short. Barnes can only move ahead to third. He couldn't quite get the break in case Bortnick made the play on that. Walsh with his first Atlantic League base hit, and plenty of business in the works for the Sugarland Skeeters. Runners at first and third, 1 out. Ray Navarro stepping in.
You know, this is what I say, though. I think a pitcher, you know, every pitcher wants to have those punch outs. And, well, now we'll see Ross use a visit to chat real quick. But, you know, every pitcher wants to have those punch outs. I think you love those high strikeout games, and you see that around Major League Baseball, too. 2 big game pitchers, big-time guys. You know, but sometimes I think you get away from what do you want to look at, your strikeouts or your ERA? You know, I'd rather have my ERA down and my strikeouts low, and there are guys that do that. There are guys. Jake Arrieta has fixed himself, and he was never really a total strikeout pitcher, but he just doesn't do it anymore. He'll get 2-3 strikeouts a game, and he can still give you a quality start.
Well, it's good to have different types of pitchers, and there are so many different metrics out there. ERA typically isn't even looked at anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why that is. I think it's a pretty good indicator. They look at WHIP now. They look at what defense, independent ERA.
I'd look at your ERA as the most important stat for a pitcher, especially if you're a starter.
The delivery to Navarro hit high in the air out toward right center field. This is playable, though. Galen will be there for the catch. Barnes is tagging. He's heading home. He's going to score, and we've got a tie ball game. Sacrifice fly for Ray Navarro. Again, the Skeeters are able to attack the right side of this field. Galen going away from that play as a left-handed thrower really had no opportunity to make a throw to the plate from that position. Barnes scores. Walsh stays at first. And we're back around to the top of the order in Anthony Giansani. Giansani has lined out and walked. Shirley to the plate. There's a soft line drive played on a bounce by Frias. He takes it himself to the bag. 6 unassisted on the force out. Closing out the top of the 4th inning. 2-run score, though, on 3 hits with no errors and 1 left. Bottom half of the 4th inning coming up. We're in a tie ball game. Lancaster and Sugarland knotted at 2.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu. Blake Galen, Joey Terdoslavich, and Trayvon Robinson will try and reestablish a lead for the Barnstormers as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's been a busy day around the Atlantic League. Long Island already has defeated New Britain 7-4. York knocks off Southern Maryland in a day game down at Regency Furniture Stadium today, 3-2. Somerset and the Road Warriors have a day-night doubleheader in progress. The Patriots taking the opener 4-3. And the night game tied at 2 in the bottom half of inning number 5. Blake Galen leads off. He struck out looking back in the first. Talbot has allowed only 2 hits so far. Galen swings and hits one a ton to right center field. Did he get enough? Barnes going back. Barnes leaping at the wall. He jumps up and he makes the catch. A spectacular play by the center fielder, Barrett Barnes. Leaping up against the UPMC Pinnacle sign in deep right center field, just in front of the backyard. A long fly out for Blake Galen. One down, Joey Terdoslavich steps in.
Robbed of a home run. It's absolute robbery of a home run there. Blake Galen, what a hit. Just to right center. Man, that's in right field. That one's gone.
All he needed to do was pull that a little bit more. Joey Terdoslavich looks at a strike at the knees. It is 0-1. Joey hit a slow ground ball to the second baseman Walsh back in the first inning. Turned into the final out there.
Give credit to Barnes, though. Heck of a play out there.
He timed it perfectly. Not quite as exceptional as the play turned in by New Britain's Michael Krause against Casey Hobson last year, when he suspended himself on the top of the fence, reached over and caught it.
Jeez.
Terdoslavich swings and misses a breaking ball. It's 1-2. Trayvon Robinson waits on deck. Galen has to be stunned that that ball was caught.
Yeah, well,
or that it stayed in the ballpark where it could even be reached.
He wouldn't be the only one. I think a lot of us, you, me, and the fans here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, the ball was well hit.
1-2 pitch. Crowds, Joey. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We talked about all the pitches thrown by Shirley. Unofficially, I have him at 77. Talbot is just at 39. 2 hits and no walks so far. Lancaster's offense has been efficient, to say the least, tonight. 2 base runners, they both scored.
Well, I agree in that regard, but you still have to get some more guys on base, especially now that Sugar Land's tied this game, and they've
2-2, stays outside, ball 3 and 2 strikes.
And the thing is, when you look at starting pitching, too, you know, Shirley, as you mentioned, I mean, he's pitching high into the 70s, looking at 80. He'll definitely be by there in the 5th inning. That could be it for him, whereas Mitch Talbot, I mean, he's kind of cruising here.
Terdoslavich backs away as Norris and Talbot take too long to agree on the sign. 3-2 is coming. The motion, the payoff pitch. Terdoslavich holds on the swing and gets ball 4. The first free pass issued by Mitch Talbot tonight. Lancaster gets a runner on. And here's Robinson. Trayvon with a long triple to right center field back in the second. Robinson's 4 extra base hits this year have been smoked. It's amazing to me that he doesn't have a home run. He tripled to the deep angle in right field at Southern Maryland. He doubled off the fence in center there. And he has these 2 gappers for triples here in this series. Breaking ball to Robinson, nubbed up the first base line and foul. Trayvon goes down to strike. Castile is on deck. He does nothing but hit the ball hard at somebody in this series. It is stunning that
Castile is on an 0 for the Sugarland set.
I'll tell you what, though, Sugarland's been very good defensively. This team can hit well, and that's why they lead the league in batting average, but, man, their defense and their fielding, some terrific stuff out there.
1 strike to Robinson. Terdoslavich out to a lead. Talbot comes set. Robinson knuckles it foul the other way. And again, they're giving Trayvon a lot of room down the left field line. He's very good at hitting the ball that way.
Saw that last night, where he just had 1 slice foul.
It just missed the line, at least in the mind of the umpiring crew. Ross Peebles was coaching third, I believe, at the time, and he thought for sure that landed on the chalk last night. We had bodies in the way. We could not tell.
Yeah.
2 strikes to Robinson. Toss over to first base. Sends Terdoslavich scrambling. Terdoslavich, one guy in the lineup who's not going to be stealing all that many bases. Count on him for the RBIs after the guys who do. 0-2 to Trayvon Robinson. Talbot ready to go. Big breaking ball stays outside. That is ball 1. Garcia back in the 3rd inning. Nearly beat this defense. Just didn't get enough on the ball to get it past Cordero. Again against Robinson. He is a mile wide of the third base bag. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Terdoslavich leads off first. There's a ball hit inside that third base bag on a check swing. Rolling down into the Sugarland bullpen. It'll be dug out there by Giansani. A double for Robinson, and the Barnstormers end up with runners at 2nd and 3rd.
And we said last night's barely sliced foul. This one barely hung in fair.
A check swing and a ground ball inside the third base bag. Looked like Trayvon was just trying to get out of the way of the pitch, and he ends up with a double. Ryan Castile, good for a sacrifice fly back in the 2nd inning of this contest. Last night he had one as well. The infield is going to draw in for Sugarland.
So if he makes contact, Barnstormers should regain the lead.
Well, they're going to have to hit it past the infielders to score Terdoslavich. He's not a guy who's going to come on contact. Castile looking to get it past the quartet of infielders, which is drawn in. Cordero, Navarro, Walsh, and Chavez up all the way around. Only guy who's a step or 2 back on the dirt is the second baseman, Walsh. Talbot comes set. Castile swings and drives the ball out to right field. Kubica is there to make the catch. Terdoslavich is coming. A long throw goes to 3rd, but Robinson wasn't moving ahead. Castile now in this series has a sacrifice fly to every field. You won't see that too often. And he has given the Barnstormers another lead. It's 3-2. Robinson at 2nd with 2 outs, and Keenan Walker stepping in.
Well, that's what you need. Just get it right back. And that was something last night that when they took the lead early and then Sugarland hit those 4 runs, they just could not respond. Lancaster could not get that response and trigger that extra gear. This time around, a little different. Barnstormers being selective at the plate, getting good pitches too. 3rd hit of this game.
Walker will try to bring in Robinson. Talbot to the plate. Big curveball in for strike 1 called.
3rd hit of this game from Trayvon Robinson.
Robinson is a guy who can do a lot of things. He can steal bases. He can drive the ball. And he can play in the outfield.
And perhaps from what you've told me, above all else, just a great human being.
He has taken command in so many ways of this ball club. Popped up back to the mound as Walker got badly jammed. Handled by Talbot himself. It ends the inning, but the Barnstormers retake the lead. A run on 1 hit. No errors. Robinson left at second base at the end of 4. Lancaster back in the lead. It's 3-2.
localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com, too. And you can get them right on your phone, thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Back at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and we tilt to the top of the 5th inning. The sun has set, and the hats have came off. So have the sunglasses for many of the fans here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. And fans, the Barnstormers will wrap up their first homestand tomorrow morning. It's an 11 a.m. start against the Sugarland Skeeters. Baseball and Education Day. And again, that wraps it up before the Barnstormers head on the road for 8 days. They're back after that for another 6-game homestand against the Road Warriors and the York Revolution. Tickets can be purchased at LancasterBarnstormers.com, the Two Dudes box office, or by calling 717-509-HITS.
BIE, baseball in education, or from the player's point of view, baseball is early. First pitch to Kyle Kubica popped up into foul territory over toward the enemy dugout is Bortnick. Tyler on the apron makes the catch. Kubica having a rough night against Tommy Shirley, 0 for 3, hasn't hit a fair ball. One out, here's Derek Norris, who has walked and grounded to third. On the Major League slate tonight, the Red Sox have a 2-1 lead over the Yankees. They're in the bottom of the third. The Phillies with a 2-0 lead on San Francisco. Top half of inning number 4. Royals trail the Orioles 3-0. In the bottom of the fourth, you don't get a 10-run first inning every night.
Yeah, I guess not. What was the final?
Low, 15-7.
15-7.
Orioles,
oh, well, hey.
They squeezed a little tighter.
Yeah, they did.
Toward the end of that game, I think 4 in the ninth.
I think it was 15-1 at one point. So, got a little.
Ball 1, no strikes. Derek Norris awaiting the offering from Tommy Shirley.
You know, I'll say
Ball
this.
2 is upstairs, 2-0.
I'll say this about the Orioles. If you want to go to a baseball game for a cheap ticket, that's your team right now. I promise you.
And it's still a great ballpark. It's been there now in the season, 27, I believe, at Camden Yards. Strike. It is 2-1. I actually measure that by the age of my older son, because the first time I saw Camden Yards, it was under construction. AJ was sick and in the hospital in Baltimore as a 2-month-old.
Oh, man.
Called strike. It's 2-2, and my wife and I got a chance for an early tour of Camden Yards. I was working in the Orioles system at the time. And what a wonderful place, and it still is.
Good for kids now, too. You know, if I'll let this pitch go through
Here's
first.
a 2-2 on Norris, lifted to center. Darian Sanford may have trouble picking this one up against the twilight. Not the case. He's there to make the catch. 2 outs. I wasn't sure on that one with the body language of Sanford, whether he was saying, I got it, or I don't have it at all.
Yeah.
It was pretty much right in his neighborhood. 2 outs, and the batter is the first baseman, Matt Chavez, 0 for 2.
Well, and this is where Tommy Shirley has to take advantage, because he's gotten 2 quick outs here in the 5th inning, and if there's any chance of him going beyond this, it's got to be here. He's got to punch out Chavez relatively quick.
Lancaster leading by 1 at 3-2 here. First pitch to Chavez off the inside corner. Ball 1, no strikes. Tampa Bay trailing Atlanta 5-0 in the top half of the fourth tonight. Mariners lead Toronto 2-0 in the 4th inning. Earlier, Cincinnati won for only the 10th time all year. 2-1 decision in 10 innings over the New York Mets. Cleveland beat Milwaukee 6-2. Garrett Granitz won't be happy. Grounded foul.
I wonder if Matt Harvey has arrived in Cincinnati yet, and if he had anything to do with that game, because that would be interesting. He was not happy when he left the Mets organization. I'm going to look that up.
in 10 innings. Texas topped Detroit 5-4. Pittsburgh with a 6-5 decision over the White Sox. Fly ball again to center field. Easy play for Darian Sanford, an easy inning for Tommy Shirley. He has had very little trouble with the top 4 in the batting order tonight. Nothing across for the Sugar Land Skeeters halfway through regulation, and the Barnstormers hold a 3-2 lead.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids Base Run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Vladimir Frias looking for his first hit against the Sugar Land Skeeters. Will lead off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. He's grounded out his one trip tonight. And against Mitch Talbot. Again, Talbot last year 9-3 for the Skeeters, but 0-1 against the Barnstormers, who handled him pretty well. Tonight he trails 3-2 as the Barnstormers nick him for 1 run at a time. They haven't had more than 1 hit in any inning. Vladimir swings and fouls this, lobbing it up onto the skybox level. No balls and a strike to Frias. Robinson and Castile have teamed up twice. Extra base hit and a sacrifice fly, although Robinson did not score the run in the 4th inning. That belonged to Turdoslavich, who had walked ahead of the double. Fouled away, and Frias bats 0-2. Talbot has to pay for the only walk he has given up in this game. Shirley has not paid for any of the 4. And a Frias 0-2 breaking ball. Again, a chip shot slicing up to the Bobby Rahal Lexus suite level. This one caroms back down.
Big thanks to all of our viewers on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel, pushing triple digits. Very happy to have you along. Hopefully we have you tomorrow morning. Some coffee, maybe a bagel, and some baseball.
An early day tomorrow. 2 strikes to Vladimir Frias. Talbot ready to go again. The pitch. He checks on a fastball up 1-2. On deck is Carlos Garcia, and then back around to the top of the order, and Darian Sanford. Ball 1, 2 strikes on Frias. Upstairs again, 2-2. Lancaster with the delicate 1-run lead here, 3-2. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Couple scores we did not get to. Cubs slaughtered the Marlins today, 13-4. The Angels shut out the Rockies 8-zip. Inside, spinning Frias around 3-2.
You mentioned the Reds have 10 wins now. White Sox are still at 9. It has been a long time since they have been competitive, it feels like.
Yet, not that long ago, they won the World Series. I guess about 13 years ago. It's a shorter drought than the entire city of Washington. Swung on and missed. Frias goes down on strikes.
You brought that one up.
That's the 4th for Talbot, 1 away.
Well,
Carlos Garcia will step in.
Sometimes I forget my age, so I hear 13 years. That sounds like a long time. I was a 10-year-old 13 years ago.
On the Caps-Penguins game the other night, they brought up a statistic that this is the first time, now that it's over, at the time this was still ongoing, that DC has not been to a conference championship.
Really?
Since the Caps played for the Stanley Cup Finals and got swept in 1998.
Jeez.
Breaking ball, in for a strike on Garcia. It's 0-1.
98. Was that Detroit?
That was Detroit.
Right. Okay, because 97 they swept the Flyers. That was the back-to-back cups. That was a good team.
Hesitant swing by Garcia and a foul tip straight into the glove of Norris. It's 0-2. The Capitals had lost in the division championship series 6 times, and that's all in the Ovechkin-Backstrom era.
Yeah.
Since then, the Nationals have lost the National League Division Series 4 times.
They've never gone past it. You'd have to go back to the Montreal Expos days, I believe.
1-2, now on Garcia. The Redskins have lost in either the wild card round, but I believe in the division round, the second round twice, and the Wizards once. High and tight. Look out, Carlos Garcia, 2-2.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're throwing out your Washington sport lore, and in terms of hockey reference, I'll tell you what I'll be doing tomorrow. I'm going to wake up early, get to the ballpark, do the 11 a.m. game, go back, chill a little bit.
And watch Nashville and Winnipeg tomorrow night.
Game 7. That'll be a good one.
I hope to be on that one, too. Talbot fools Garcia badly. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 5th inning. 5 Ks now for Mitch Talbot. When we get to the top of the order, Darian Sanford, he has a base hit and has struck out, but he also has 2 stolen bases and has scored a run. 9 steals now in the last 7 games for Sanford, 10 on the year.
There you can see the camera angle for you folks at home. Bottom of the 5th inning, and Barnstormers with a 3-2 lead with Sanford up.
One other final, Astros over the A's today, 4-1. And Garrett Cole. Nationals at the Padres tonight. Arizona at Chavez Ravine. Fouled off the foot of Sanford.
That was a great pickup for Houston, Garrett Cole. Charlie Morton, too, last year.
Almost as good. Justin Verlander.
Well, yeah. That's a whole nother ball game for him.
But, they built that team so well through the draft.
Yeah, they lost 100 games not too long
ago.
Through
signings, getting the likes of Springer and Correa.
Yep.
And you bring in Altuve into the mix. Homegrown, but not drafted.
But,
it's Venezuelan.
Isn't it amazing, though, how those things come about? You win a World Series a couple years prior. You had back-to-back 100-plus lost seasons. It's just terrific management.
The epitome of player development.
Yes.
What the Astros pulled off last year, a strike to Sanford. And Mitch Talbot is on the verge of striking out the side here in the 5th inning. He's missed with some pitches, but his off-speed stuff has just torn up these switch hitters batting left-handed. To Sanford, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Darian's gone on strikes, and there you have it, a 1-2-3 inning all on strikeouts for Mitch Talbot, who's not been a big strikeout pitcher, but he now has 6 for the night. We're through 5. Barnstormers leading 3-2.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all you can eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like Word Search, with top prizes of $20 grand.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Left-hander Jared Lakeland is on here in the sixth inning, replacing another southpaw in Tommy Shirley. And not necessarily a smooth evening for Shirley, but the plane landed with no damage after an occasionally bumpy ride. 5 innings. He gave up 4 hits, including a home run. 2 runs both earned. He walked 4, struck out 3.
You wouldn't happen to have a final pitch count on him, would you?
Unofficially 86.
Okay. Well, you know what? He cruised through that 5th inning, and I think that helped him. So, as you mentioned, he not exactly smooth, but not terrible. You only give up 2 runs here. You go
against this ball club.
Yeah.
Watching what they've done before they got here and then last night, 2 runs in 5 innings against Sugar Land right now stands as a pretty good effort. Albert Cordero, he's been the biggest thorn tonight. He has a single and a home run. He's facing the left-hander Lakeland from the Houston area. First pitch fastball is high. Ball 1, no strikes. Lakeland with a loss that was entirely not his fault. 2 unearned runs came up to bite him. It's his 6th appearance. 3 hits, the 2 unearned runs in 5 2/3 innings. Fouled at the plate by Cordero. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Lakeland has not walked a batter. He has struck out 5 in his work. From Cypress, Texas, 6'2" and 205-pounder. Like Matt Marksberry, we talked to Matt back on Friday. Lakeland is very much into fitness. To Cordero, here's the 1-1. Knocked back off the plate. Lakeland trying to take the feet out from underneath Cordero. And right now, that's not a bad idea. When you've got a guy who's as a right-handed batter in this series, taking a ball up into the Haller Pavilion twice.
Yeah.
You want to make him uncomfortable in that batter's box. You don't want him leaning out over. But now ball 3 is high from Lakeland, 3-1.
Now with a 1-run lead, though, this is the only thing. The bullpen's going to be challenged here, and it's been pretty good. Bullpen has been pretty darn solid this whole season.
Yeah,
but now
1.96 ERA.
Yeah.
3 balls and a strike to Albert Cordero. Lakeland deals. That's wrapped on the ground, and there's Lincoln Gums down to a knee to make the play. 3-2. Lakeland pitched against York on Sunday, throwing a spotless inning. Did not strike out anybody. Payoff pitch is coming to Cordero. You want to keep him off base here. 3-2. Smashed into left field. Cordero is 3 for 3.
Ooh.
A line drive base hit past Vladimir Frias. The tying run on to start off the 6th inning. Cordero overall is 4 for 7 with 2 home runs in the series.
You mentioned he might be viewed out as an unsung hero to this lineup, but I don't think so today. He's coming through.
He is 4 for 4 right-handed in this series without a base hit from the left side of the dish. Courtney Hawkins, the batter, he is grounded into a double play and popped up tonight. Runner at first base is Cordero with nobody out. Lakeland will work out of the stretch. He'll come to the plate. Hawkins gets a ball inside and low, 1-0. Tommy Shirley in line for the win tonight if the bullpen can hold the lead the rest of the way. Infield set up, double play depth. They love the chance to help Jared Lakeland out here. Ball 1, no strikes. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Hawkins in there at 1-1. Barnstormers head to Somerset for a quick 3-game series played in 2 nights. Swing and a miss, same pitch, same result, 1-2. Friday and Saturday, Mother's Day off. The Monday off, and then back in action at New Britain Stadium on Tuesday. Former White Sox farmhand Courtney Hawkins at the plate. Ball 2 is inside to him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There has not been a called third strike on the Sugar Land Skeeters this series. Runner goes, pitch high and outside. Castillo's throw is in time, sort of at second base, but I think Cordero may have slid past the bag. It was an odd play all in all.
It works for the Barnstormers.
Regardless, it's 2-4.
No argument from Cordero. He's not the fastest up the base paths, and I don't think the throw had exactly all of it on it by Castillo, but it was good enough, and as you mentioned, he maybe overslid.
Silvio Martinez, the third base umpire, with the call, and there was no argument. 3-2 now to Hawkins. The pitch, he got him, a swing and a miss. Hawkins down on strikes. 2 away here in the top of the 6th. Barrett Barnes will step in. Barnes was perfect against Shirley with a walk and a double. Scored the tying run back in the 4th inning. Lancaster up 3-2 here. Top half of the 6th inning. The Barnstormers have been out hit tonight, 5-3. Defense straight up here with 2 outs and the bases empty. The motion, the pitch, fastball pumped in there, strike 1 at the letters.
Barnes' first season in the Atlantic League, 6 seasons previous, all with the Pirates organization, of which he was drafted by in 2012.
No, I misspoke. Kyle Kubica struck out looking last night. There has been one. This nibbles the outside corner. Lakin is ahead of Barnes, 0-2. A narrow 1-run lead here in the 6th inning for the Barnstormers. Smashed to short, handled cleanly by Frias. The throw on line, down goes Barnes, down goes Sugar Land here in the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. Bottom half of inning 6 coming up with Lancaster leading 3-2.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding 3rd row. Room for up to 7. And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
Tyler Bortnick, Blake Galen, and Joey Trdoslavich stepping in as the Barnstormers come to the plate in the bottom of the 6th inning, leading by a run. Bortnick will lead off. He is 0 for 2. Lancaster has had only 4 base runners the entire night.
It's been enough so far.
2 extra base hits by Trayvon Robinson and a single by Darian Sanford, along with a walk to Joey Trdoslavich, and every one of those base runners has somehow built a run. The only 2 runs batted in have come on sacrifice flies for Ryan Castile, who has that weird 0-0-0-2 line in the box score. Breaking ball, hooks in there to Bortnick. Talbot is pitching brilliantly right now. Everything finding the zone. Well, and he's got that 4-pitch assortment.
And we talked about that along with his experience, a 16-year veteran. So this is the kind of stuff you're going to get from him.
to Bortnick. Fastball right on the outside black. It's 0-2.
And so that I think almost is a testament for more credit due to the Barnstormers hitters, because it's this plate and base efficiency from this team. If anybody gets on base, they're touching home plate and they're going around usually. As far as you mentioned, 3 hits, just as many runs.
0-2. Bortnick spun around by an inside fastball. That pitch had a purpose to it. Ball 1, 2 strikes.
And really, there hasn't been a bottom half inning that's went too long for the Barnstormers, so I have to think, although I don't have an exact number, that Talbot is not pitching into high counts right now. As that one goes downstairs for a ball and in the dirt. So who knows? I mean, maybe this guy is going to make it into the 7th inning. And Sugar Land, we talked about their offense. Their pitching is very good. ERA, a combined ERA from their staff. Their starters below 2.5.
Ball 3 fades inside and low. Bortnick works the count to full, 3-2.
Of course, now does come the time, though, where they often say you're seeing the batter third time through. Now the advantage goes to the man at the plate. So perhaps a change does happen here in the 6th inning.
Here's the motion. Talbot with the payoff pitch. Ball 4 is outside. Leadoff man is on in the Barnstormers' half of the 6th inning as they try to put together some insurance. Blake Galen to the plate. He is 0 for 2, taking a called third strike in the 1st inning and then launching the closest thing we have seen to a Barnstormers home run in this series.
Right. Right at the wall and right center.
At the wall, a leaping catch by Barrett Barnes in right center. So his on-base streak is in jeopardy here as we are in the 6th inning of play. Bortnick leads off first. We'll see if he goes at any point. Not much of a lead right now. The pitch to Galen is inside, and 5 in a row out of the zone all of a sudden for Talbot. We talked about the Mets batting out of order today. It took them out of a rally.
Yep.
And the first major league team to be guilty of that mistake since Milwaukee did it in 2016 against the Washington Nationals.
You just never hear of that.
I alluded earlier, I'm not sure if we were on air or off, about Butch Hobson.
No, we were off air.
In 2012. He had to make his lineup card out again because we had a player, Jesus Merchan, with his contract purchased within a half an hour of game time.
Jeez.
And when he made the lineup card out again, he had the reserve catcher, the guy who was supposed to be the backup catcher, in as both the starting catcher and the backup catcher. And he was supposed to be the reserve, but he had him in the lineup as the starter. So Emerson Frostad, who was our number 1 catcher, played the 1st inning. Willie Upshaw noticed the mistake, came out. Well, the upshot of it was this. As Pete Incaviglia heads back to the dugout here after his mound visit, the upshot was this. Frostad wasn't on the lineup card. He was ineligible, so he was out. But Francisco Hernandez had already been taken out of the game, so he was ineligible. We had no catchers left. And Bush went to the bench and said, well, my bad. Which one of you guys has ever caught in his life? And Terry Tippy, our third baseman, said he caught in high school. Tippy donned the tools of ignorance, which is maybe the greatest misnomer in all of sports, and actually blocked the plate, preventing the winning run from scoring. And the Barnstormers won the game in extra innings.
That's a story.
I believe with a pitcher as a pinch runner scoring the winning run or something like that. It was an absolutely insane night. Our center fielder, Adam Godwin, played third. Now Blake Galen stares at strike 1 across the knees.
Here's a question for Barnstormers history. I'm just curious if it's ever happened or you can remember. When's the last time a position player had to pitch for the Barnstormers?
Well, it's happened a fair amount here. And last year, Sean Halton did it the final game of the season for kicks. So that's the last time it did happen. I don't know if have to would quite qualify there. That did not work out very well.
What happened to him?
I walked everybody.
Oh,
I think that he faced. Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Wasn't able to fan anybody with a nice curveball.
Sean won the league home run and RBI titles last year.
Wow.
and then decided to play every position but catcher that last and one and only meaningless game the Barnstormers played last season. Inside, a ball to Galen, it's 1-1. They won it, was it 11-8 in 11 innings?
Now, typically, I mean, you see it in Major League Baseball. That's why I'm curious about this league is, you know, you have a utility player on your team who can kind of play a little bit of everything. Who's that for the Barnstormers this year?
Ball 3 missing. Garcia.
Okay.
For the most part. You've got Garcia, Bortnick, and Rico Noel that you can put in both the infield and the outfield.
Right.
But more so Garcia and Noel and Bortnick. You can put Tyler out there in a pinch. 3-1 to Galen. Runner already on here in the 6th inning. Talbot comes set. Bortnick stays put, and that ball is driven to right center field. Barnes won't get to this one on the fly. That is going to hop into the gap. Galen a wide turn at first. He'll hold on there. He's got to settle for a long single. Bortnick gallops around to third, and the Barnstormers have men at the corners with nobody out here in the 6th inning. Galen stares out, try catching that one, Barrett Barnes.
Yeah.
But Barnes still made a great play, getting there, keeping that ball from getting all the way to the wall.
And that was just short of the exact area where Barnes was able to rob him at that UPMC Pinnacle sign out in right center.
But that was a line drive as opposed to that big towering fly ball the last time around. Joey Trdoslavich stepping in. He's grounded out, walked, and scored a run. Lancaster will take another sacrifice fly here, although I think in truth on the bench you're thinking big inning right now. If Talbot is tiring at all, he tried to take advantage of it. Nobody throwing in the Sugarland bullpen. Trdoslavich, slow ground ball on the right side. The throw coming to the plate, and that was a bad decision by Chavez. He fails to get the speedy Bortnick. Everybody is safe, and it's 4-2. That was a slow chopper up the first baseline by Joey Trdoslavich, and Matt Chavez making an ill-advised decision right there. By the time he threw home, Bortnick was all but there.
Well, what do you call that?
That is a fielder's choice. Yeah. Trdoslavich gets a run batted in. No out on the play. First and second now, nobody out still, and Trayvon Robinson stands in. Robinson a triple and a double already tonight. Lancaster leading by 2. Galen's at second. Trdoslavich, the runner at first base. And again, the Barnstormers are able to get a run home from third base with fewer than 2 outs.
Yeah, that one, as you mentioned, just an ill-advised throw to the catcher.
Trayvon with a chopper towards second. They will get the force out at second. That will be it. Walsh to Navarro. Robinson now safe on a fielder's choice. Galen ahead to third. Trdoslavich erased 4-6. Here's Ryan Castile. A chance for a franchise record. Nobody's ever had 3 sac flies in a game.
Oh, wow.
As a Lancaster Barnstormer.
This is the benefit of having the same broadcaster for the entirety of the team, is because that knowledge is right there.
We've had several with 2. And, of course, Castile tonight, the latest. And it's all set up for him. He just needs to get a ball deep into the outfield and have Galen scoot home from third.
I'm going to guess he doesn't know that this is a franchise record on the line.
He might suspect it. I mean, not many guys ever get 3 sac flies in a game. Talbot to the plate, and a strike taken by Castile. It is 0-1. That's a good pitch for Ryan to let go there. Meanwhile, the left-hander has started to toss in the Sugarland pen. I think that's Dan Runzler. I think I caught the second digit being a 4. Well, I may be wrong. It is not. Robinson goes. There's a ground ball to the shortstop, and they're going to only go to first base. The Barnstormers stay out of the double play. Navarro looked home and decided, I'm not going to make the same mistake. Castile gets his 3rd RBI of the game without a hit.
Not a fly out.
Not a sac fly, though. Galen scores. Robinson, who is in motion, advances to second. Barnstormers got that run by starting the runner. That's an easy double play with Castile running. If Robinson's not in motion,
that's 2.
But Navarro had no chance for the force out at second.
Yep, agreed. Robinson had his feet running, and like I said, that might have been 2 had he not had that good lead at first.
5-2 the score. Walker bats with Robinson at second and 2 outs.
Feels like a game of small ball, doesn't it? A little bit.
There's a bunt by Walker, but he chops it one hop out from behind the plate as Norris to make the play on Keenan Walker to end the inning. 2-run score on only one hit. No errors in the inning, at least not of the physical variety. And as it turns out, there is one man left on base. We're done with 6. The Barnstormers leading 5-2.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
Five runs on only 4 hits for the Barnstormers tonight. They have been guilty of 1 error and left only 2 men on base. Sugarland with 2 runs, 5 hits, also an error, and 5 stranded. Colin Walsh leading off against Jared Lakin here in the 7th. Walsh has walked and singled so far tonight. Ray Navarro on deck, and then Anthony Giansanti. The Barnstormers with action down in the bullpen. I believe that is Kevin Munson starting to loosen up. It would be about that time of a game. Lakin to the plate. Walsh takes ball 1 inside. It is 1-0. Jared gave up a leadoff single to Cordero in the 6th. He was thrown out stealing, and the inning went by pretty easily from there. Walsh bats 1-0. Lakin comes back and misses upstairs. Ball 2 and no strikes. Ball 3 missing. It is 3-0. I'll tell you, right now you've just put 2 runs on the board. And your ball club leads by 3. You don't want to start off with a 3-0 count.
Nope.
Lakin trying to settle down, get a couple of outs here. Take the inning as far as he can. 3-0 on Walsh. And ball 4 is now high. He walks the leadoff man. 5 walks issued by the Barnstormers staff tonight, 13 in the series. The batter will be Ray Navarro this evening, a ground out and a sacrifice fly for the Sugarland shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, so far, 5 is 3 less than 8, right? But still a high number, and you're 2/3 of the way through the game. So, now we'll see Ross come out.
We're going to have a mound visit by Ross Peoples. I would imagine that the Barnstormers will keep Navarro batting from the right side of the plate for this batter, and then Lakin will probably come out with Giansanti waiting on deck. Ross really wants this game. And the reason is Sugarland obviously has a very good veteran team that has really taken a liking to the Atlantic League. It's, with only a few exceptions, a brand new Sugarland team. And they're tearing it up here in the early going.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now, as you mentioned, it is the early going, and we talk how, you can talk all you want about how long of a season baseball is. Sometimes the teams in the beginning that are that good are the teams that are that good at the end. I saw it last year.
Yeah, it's a 63 game half. First pitch strike in on Navarro to go to 0-1.
And that's going to confirm one of the playoff spots. So in the grand scheme of things, I don't know that 10 games is a small sample. That's a 6th of the way.
Yeah, you don't want Sugarland galloping out to a huge lead.
Yeah.
Lakin with an interesting pickoff move to first. Walsh read it. He's back in standing.
And how about this? Skeeters 8-2. Second time they've done that. Matches the best start in franchise history. In 2013, they won 95 games, and that is the Atlantic League record.
Oh, that team was just amazingly well crafted. High for a ball. Lakin has missed with 5 out of 6 here in the 7th inning.
I don't know if it's too early to ask you this because this is only our second time seeing them this season, but do you see any similarities from this team and that one?
I think that team
Talent?
had some more speed
Okay.
than this ball club has. The Barnstormers partially set that team up as Lakin is inside here 2-1. One of Sugar Land's best players that year, and a guy who was a great player for us the year before, Adam Godwin, wanted to go down there. It was easier for his brand new wife to travel to see him, being in Houston as opposed to up here. Butch let him go. And Godwin, one of the best players this league has seen. Ground ball back toward the mound. Lakin will come up firing. Down goes Navarro 1-3. Walsh motors ahead to second. He's there with 1 out. Anthony Giansani will step in, and that's because Butch Hobson was Butch Hobson. And he felt if he treated his players like that, more players would come, and it was generally true. Godwin was not only one of the fastest players, he's not Darian Sanford, but kind of at that next level, just down in terms of speed, but also a wonderful center fielder with a great throwing arm. Here comes Ross, and that will be all for Jared Lakin. He'll leave with the runner at second and 1 man out. He gets an inning and a 3rd log tonight. The Barnstormers will go to a right-hander to face Giansani, and then may have another left-hander getting ready in the bullpen. We'll have to see how this breaks down. It's 5-2. We're going to change pitchers and pause for these messages.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
They'll give Jared Lakin the hold tonight as he leaves with the lead intact at 5-2. 1 out, runner at second base here in the 7th inning. And Anthony Giansani will be facing right-hander Kevin Munson, who was born in Edison, New Jersey, same town, same birthplace as Matt Hibbert. And Munson's family moved to Roanoke, Virginia. He grew up there, went to James Madison University, and then moved out to Arizona, lives currently in the Phoenix area. Giansani will step in 0-2 with a walk is Giansani tonight. We haven't seen a lot of Munson this year. He was slightly hurt coming out of the gate. He's only been in 3 previous games. Is not allowed a hit in 2 2/3 innings. He's walked 1 and struck out 4. Giansani awaiting the pitch from Munson with the runner at second, 1 out. Ball 1 is inside and low.
Anthony Giansani is in the midst of a 14-game hitting streak. He's 20 for 53 over that time, batting .377, 5th in the league in hitting. Also homers in back-to-back games, not just the win over Lancaster yesterday, but also Sunday's tilt against Somerset. Of course, a loss for Sugar Land there, who, by the way, facing Kevin Munson, the first righty to come out for Lancaster in this game.
We had a discussion before the game with our counterpart, Ira Liedman.
Yes.
Is that officially a streak or just unofficially a streak if it dates back to last year? And we couldn't come up with a conclusion. Munson's 1-0. Strike to the outside corner. The count levels at 1-1.
We've got mixed answers because I think you believe, if I'm not mistaken,
that it's only unofficial.
Yes.
Yeah.
You believe that last year into this year should not count. Now, see, for me, I'm just watching as a Phillies fan. Odubel Herrera is hitting safely, or is reach base safely.
Swing and a miss at the Munson slider, 1-2. If Kevin Munson has that pitch working on any given night, you can just forget it. It's not always there. When it is, look out.
Well, and it looks like it
big
comes,
strikeout guy.
And it looks like it comes in so nice for the hitter because it really deceives you there where it cuts out the last second.
1-2. Munson glances back at the runner. Here's the pitch. The fastball is low, gets away from Castile. Castile and Munson having trouble getting together, and they give Walsh third base. We'll have to get a ruling on it. For years, I was right next to Joel Schreiner and could get the calls instantaneously. Now I can't even. I'm not even.
Can't even see him
in visual range of Joel over here. So I'll have to check the ruling there. I'm thinking pass ball. Barnstormers keep the infield back with the 3-run lead. Way inside, 3-2 now on Giansani.
It is a pass ball.
A runner at third base. Giansani batting with a full count. If you're Munson, you almost have to come back with a breaking ball here, I would think, though you don't want to walk him. 3-2, half swing, and a foul ball to that screen extension over on the first base side.
That's an extension. That one would have been coming in hot. There's not the way it would have went up, it would have went into the higher rows. There's not a lot of people there right now, but never know.
29-year-old Anthony Giansani, a Connecticut native. He awaits the payoff from Munson. Ground ball rolled to third. Bortnick is going to look toward the plate. He doesn't have that play, then throws to first, and Terdoslavich just holds the bag. 5-3 goes the out. Give Giansani an RBI, and Kyle Kubica will step in. Now the run is charged to Lakin, temporarily unearned. I don't even think you could give him third base legitimately on that if you're rebuilding the inning.
I don't think so.
I don't think he moves. That was a ground ball right toward the bag to Bortnick.
Hey, in the meantime, if we want to just be simple, whether it's last year or this year, Giansani's hit streak looks like it's coming to an end.
Well, never say never. He may get up again.
Right.
He's 0 for 3 tonight. Ball one is low to Kubica. Tommy Shirley pretty much had his number tonight. 2 strikeouts and a foul out to third. Munson is low, ball 2. The on-deck batter is the catcher, Derek Norris. If he gets to the plate, it would be as the possible tying run here in the 7th inning. A 2-run ball game. Sugar Land trying to fight back. Here's Munson with the 2-0. Kubica fouls it away. Big swing from the left-handed batter. 2 balls and 1 strike, now the count.
Fans in Section 18 had fun with that one, dancing off the roof and back down.
Kubica, from a baseball-playing family, has a brother drafted by the Pirates in the 7th round from Rice University, which not only is a great school, but has a great baseball program. Foul ball to the screen, 2-2. Down in Houston. Kubica hails from Arlington, Texas, from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Of course, home of the Rangers. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs.
One day I want to get to a point where I can travel around and see all these different Major League ballparks. That is one of them. I'd also love to see Cole Hamels pitch there.
Munson to the plate, stroked out into right field. Kubica with a base hit down the line, headed toward the corner. Galen's going to dig it out. There may be a play at second, but that throw comes in late. Kubica with a double, and Derek Norris steps in as the potential tying run. That makes the run earned to Jared Lakin. The two-base hit will do the trick. Now the tying run at the plate and the slugging Norris. 0 for 2 with a walk here tonight. And Munson threw that one dastardly slider to Giansani, got him to swing and miss by plenty.
Yeah.
And have we seen it again? I don't know that we have. We might to Norris.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. I don't think we have.
First pitch here. Bounce toward third and foul. Gloved by Bortnick across the line. No balls and a strike. I don't think that was the pitch that got away from Castile for the pass ball.
You know what? To be honest, I thought it was.
It may have been.
I know you said a fastball in there,
Yeah,
but
it may have had that late break to it and had Castile handcuffed.
because it looked like it dropped right around the same location the other strikes went in. Just went a little low, a little faster.
Norris bats 0-1 against Munson. Smoked foul down the third base line.
Thank goodness it's foul.
Munson has him set up now. No balls and 2 strikes. Lancaster working with a 2-run lead.
And credit the Sugar Land team, they're not going away. They just keep battling here. Never started a season 9-2 in the Skeeters' history. Again, 8-2 for just the second time in their franchise history. Back 5 seasons ago.
Munson to the plate. Didn't get Norris to fish for that breaking ball. 1-2. That was in a very safe spot for Kevin Munson. He either gets the strikeout there, certainly doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
So it's 1-2 instead of 0-2. Strike 3 call to the outside corner, and Norris can't believe it. Kevin Munson finishes off the inning with the strikeout. It is 1 run on 1 hit with no errors and a man left on base. Going to the bottom of the 7th, we're at the stretch. Lancaster leads 5-3.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
We're treated to left-hander Hunter Cervenka. Well, as deep a bullpen as the Skeeters and Pete Incaviglia have, I'm surprised we get the same guy 2 straight nights. Cervenka worked the 7th inning last night, gave up an infield single to Tyler Bortnick, and he struck out 2. He'll be facing Frias, Garcia, and Sanford here. Lancaster leading by 2. Cervenka, big guy, 6'1", 245-pounder from the Houston suburb, loosely speaking, of Baytown, Texas. It's not really all that close to Houston, but in the general neighborhood. Cervenka, 28 years of age with big league time. He'll go to work on Frias. Slow bounder left side, charging the play. Navarro, nicely done. He throws on for the out. Frias retired 6-3. One pitch, one out. Carlos Garcia will step in. He's hitless in 2 tries tonight. Cervenka appearing for the 7th time already this year. He's given up 2 hits in now 6 1/3 innings. With 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, he is not allowed a run. Last 5 Barnstormers have hit the ball on the ground against Sugar Land pitching. We'll wrap up the totals on Talbot here momentarily. Cervenka goes to work on Garcia. Carlos shows bunt and takes a strike. It's 0-1. Talbot worked 6 innings tonight. He allowed just 4 hits. 5 runs, though, 4 earned. He walked 2, struck out 6. You can't be much more efficient than the Barnstormers' offense has been tonight, something that at times this year it hasn't been, but in this game you just can't play it much better to get the runs on the board.
No, especially against a veteran on the hill like Talbot, who played as advertised, really. Gave you 6 innings, and that's another quality start for the Skeeters, or excuse me, not a quality start just because of the runs, but, you know.
Yeah, 6 base runners in 6 innings is a pretty good start.
It is. Just the runs will erase the quality aspect of it, having to be 3 runs or fewer per 6 innings.
No balls and 2 strikes to Garcia. Chopper again, slowly hit towards short. The play there for Navarro, 2 up and 2 down. Ray Navarro has been a great acquisition for the Sugar Land Skeeters.
Man, he
is flawless at shortstop.
Yeah.
He reads plays extremely well there. Veteran infielder. Here's Darian Sanford, who singled his first time up. He has struck out twice since.
Yeah, only 7 games in AAA last year in the Pacific Coast League for Navarro, but man, this guy, I mean, you know, tonight not quite the production at the plate that he did yesterday in his first 2 at-bats against Lancaster, but this guy can do it
He
on
also
both
has
sides.
hit right-handed all night.
That's true,
He hasn't
too.
been in there from the left side.
Well, he hasn't really had an opportunity to.
Breaking ball spins to the outside corner. Strike 1 to Sanford. Bortnick waits on deck. Lancaster leading by 2. You don't want to necessarily trust a 2-run lead to the league's top-hitting ball club. Or over the top-hitting ball club, I should say. A ball is low. Sanford will bat it 1-1. Ryan Castile with a bizarre series in the works. 4 runs batted in and no hits. Outside.
Navarro's best full year, just looking at that, or at least, well, not a full year, but he played 65 games in AAA for Louisville back in 2014. He batted .296 there. Now, he's had a couple of 300 and 400s, but those are with 12 games or fewer played, so.
A swing and a miss by Sanford, and the count runs to 2-2 here. Matt Chavez, Albert Cordero, and Courtney Hawkins will bat in the 8th inning. And I would imagine the Barnstormers will have a right-hander there, and it's Scott Schumann warming up. Generally the 8th inning guy with a lead. Right now I want Cordero batting left-handed. I don't want him up there right-handed again in this series if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
Check swing by Sanford. The pitch ended up low. Filling out the count to Darian. He's batting with 2 outs in the 7th. Lancaster ahead 5-3. Despite only 4 hits. Castile is 0 for 3 in the series. He has driven in a run on an out 4 times. 3 sac flies and a ground ball to short.
Jeez. I guess that's your version of a team player.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Sanford down on strikes for the 3rd straight AB. Lancaster out in order here in the bottom of the 7th. We'll head to the 8th, 5-3 Barnstormers.
Localflavor.com, localflavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com, too. And you can get them right on your phone, thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Just like Kevin Munson, we have not seen a lot of Scott Schumann so far this season, but this has been Scott's role last year and into this year, the 8th inning slot out of the Barnstormers bullpen. Schumann, in just his 4th game this year, he's worked 3 innings, 2 hits allowed, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. 62 games for Scott last year, 2.91 ERA. And like Munson, a high strikeout guy. And Schumann, the harder thrower of the two. Last year, we had the gun on it. Munson threw about 93. Schumann can hit 98.
Well, the Barnstormers haven't been able to strike out a lot of guys. Only 5 punch-outs in this game, and they didn't have many yesterday either. So maybe a strikeout pitcher is what you need in this case. You certainly, in the 8th inning now, want to try and get away from allowing the Skeeters on base. Of course, with guys that try to run strikeouts, they also sometimes can run high counts as well. You don't want to put any more guys on. Already 5 walks charged against Lancaster today.
Here's Matt Chavez facing Schumann. Scott's first pitch, the slider swung on and missed. It is 0-1. Chavez tonight has been held hitless. 0 for 3. He has hit into a force play. He has struck out, and he has hit a harmless fly ball to center. Chavez, Cordero, and Hawkins here in the 8th inning against 6'3" right-hander Scott Schumann from Valdosta, Georgia. Next offering, swing and a miss. He has Chavez 0-2. Schumann had a look with the Dodgers in spring training. He didn't fit their plans and may have fallen victim to that cookie cutter mindset that exists in baseball very often today. The 0-2 pitch is low. Missing to Chavez, ball 1, 2 strikes.
90 miles an hour on the fastball.
Yeah, he isn't quite there with the velocity yet this season. Ball 1, 2 strikes, but he pitched all winter in Australia, had a great time over there.
Got some other guys on this team that can throw the heat. Brooks Hall, heck of a fastball.
1-2, got him with the slider. Chavez down on strikes. Schumann puts 1 notch in his belt. Now here is Cordero, 3 for 3 against the left-handers tonight, batting from the right side of the plate.
Well, I'm sorry, I was going to say, I might be wrong, but anytime you can get Matt Chavez early in the season to go 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts, you're doing something right.
There's a moral victory in that alone. Cordero will have to get it done from the left side of the plate. Now, we mentioned all 4 of his hits in this series have been right-handed. Schumann will go to work. The fastball is low. Ball 1, no strikes. Courtney Hawkins on deck, a right-handed batter. There's nobody else warming up in the Barnstormers bullpen. The 8th will belong to Schumann. The 9th will belong to Reynolds. 1 ball, no strikes on Cordero. Swing and a miss. Fastball got by him. It's 1-1. That recorded at 92 on the outfield board. The radar gun here, for whatever reason, has tended to be about 2 miles an hour short. So we'll figure that was about 94. But Schumann can hit higher. 1-1. Swing and a miss. That was the slider. It's 1-2.
Now, you mentioned with him the velocity isn't just quite there. Is it the consistency of it? Where sometimes pitches just go a little less than others?
No, I don't think the arm is there. I think part of it is the off season. he hasn't been 100%. He did not pitch the first few games of the year, didn't pitch at all in spring training. I don't think the arm's quite built up yet, but he's got that nasty slider too. 1-2, fired high and outside to Cordero. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scott Schumann kind of trying to shake off a past reputation of being extraordinarily wild. He shortened up his mechanics. And to me, one of the best relief pitchers in the Atlantic League. 2-2, high again. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Albert Cordero. Courtney Hawkins, the slugger on deck, could be the tying run in the ball game. 1 out, nobody on in the 8th. Lancaster leading 5-3. Payoff pitch is coming to Cordero, and that is slashed foul off to the left and to the far corner of the upper level, and then it kicked out beyond. 3-2 on Cordero. The Barnstormers really have had a hard time with him in this series. He's 4 for 7 with a walk, 2 home runs. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Cordero. A very interesting stance, left-handed. He'll get the walk. Ball 4 is low. The Barnstormers issue their 6th walk of the game tonight and their 14th of the series. Courtney Hawkins stepping in. He is 0 for 3. As Schumann had Cordero set up there, but we have said it often in this series with the Barnstormers pitchers getting ahead, not finishing them off.
Yeah, that's been the case, and now you look at both games, 14 walks over 2 games. Not the kind of numbers you want, so I guess Ross Peoples maybe a little disappointed tonight as well.
Yeah, and until this series, walks had not really been an issue. Hawkins gets a ball outside and low, 1-0. The Barnstormers going into last night had walked only 27 batters in the first 10 games of the year, covering 87 innings.
Yeah.
1-0 on Hawkins. A check swing and a bouncer toward Turdoslavich, who looks at second. That would have been foolish. He just takes it to the bag for the second out of the inning.
Center fielder Barrett Barnes.
Barrett Barnes will step in. 2 outs and a man in scoring position. Turdoslavich had no play at second. He had no business going to second base there, and he knew it. Take the out. Do not allow the tying run on base here.
Right.
That was a smart decision made by Joey Turdoslavich over at first base. A 1-run game, you might try it. A tie game, you definitely try it. But leading by 2,
play it safe.
They played it safely, and that's exactly what he should have done. Barnes, the batter, he has walked, doubled, and grounded out. Cordero will lead off second base with 2 outs. The Schumann pitch, the slider, taken by Barnes for ball 1. As often as Sugarland has gone the other way in this series, with the tying run at the plate, doesn't matter who it is, you hold your breath. 1-0 pitch, down and away again. 2 balls, no strikes on Barnes. Colin Walsh, the switch-hitting second baseman, is due to follow. Lakin went an inning and a third, gave up a hit, a run. He walked 1, struck out 1 for Munson, 2/3 of an inning. 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Here comes the 2-0, almost bounced, ball 3. Schumann hadn't walked anybody prior to tonight. Lakin had not walked anybody prior to tonight. It is 3-0 here on Barnes. First base is open. And the pitch poured right in there. A strike taken by Barrett Barnes. It is 3-1. Barnes played at Indianapolis last year. He is right from Sugarland. 26-year-old outfielder. Awaiting the 3-1. There's strike 2. The count fills out. Cordero not forced off second base. He'll hang tight until the ball would be put in play. Schumann trying to rally here and get the final out in the 8th inning. Payoff pitch on the way. Schumann ready to go. He misses with it. Ball 4, and yet another walk given up by the Barnstormers. They put the tying runs on base here in the 8th inning. Colin Walsh will step in. He has walked twice and singled tonight. Ross Peoples is going to pay a visit. He has one in reserve.
This is again, though, where, walks had not been hurting the team until going into the series, and I almost wonder if it's because you know how well Sugar Land can hit. Again, a cumulative batting average, which I know I've already said a couple of times, but hovering right a little under 300. That's what the team's batting together as a whole. So maybe as a pitcher you get more selective and you just want to watch a little bit what you throw.
Well, I got to think, too, that Sugar Land is not just living on reputation, but on what's gotten them that reputation. They're being very patient and waiting for their pitch. And now Colin Walsh could turn this game around in a hurry, batting with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Here in the top of the 8th inning, the tying runs are on for Sugar Land. Peoples back in the dugout. Schumann will go to work, and he's low. Ball 1, no strikes. And Lancaster quickly with Matt Reynolds warming up in the bullpen. Ray Navarro waiting on deck. They really want Schumann to get the out here. 1-0 to Walsh. Check swing. The pitch there for a strike. It is 1-1. Colin Walsh last year was in the Arizona and Houston organizations and hit .256 with 12 home runs at AA and AAA. The runner goes, the throw by the pitcher Schumann, and a great tag by Bortnick. Cordero left too soon. Schumann had not committed, and the runner is thrown out stealing at third base, 1-5. And what a great play by Tyler Bortnick, because that was an awkward throw. He was still in motion, just about across the bag. Bortnick handled the throw, swept the tag down, and got Cordero, who was thrown out stealing for the second time tonight. What a crazy way to end the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. Barnstormers will step in the bottom of the 8th, still leading 5-3.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids base run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
What a great play by Tyler Bortnick. You know, he's off the bag with the left-handed batter and Walsh up there. He had to go over and handle that hurried throw by Scott Schumann. When Schumann first made that throw, I thought it was going to be wild and get away, and that would have put the tying run into scoring position in the top of the 8th. Instead, Bortnick not only handled the throw, but got the tag down.
Yeah,
and
unbelievable stuff.
Retired Cordero to end the threat. So here is Bortnick himself. He is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored tonight. He fouls away Dan Runzler's first offering. It is 0-1. Dan Runzler from Santa Monica. He is 33 years of age, 6'4", 210 pounds.
12 years of experience as a professional.
Yeah, last pitch for Pittsburgh. Grounded up the middle and past Navarro, a base hit for Bortnick. Tyler Bortnick getting his average nudged up a little bit, still not to 200. But I'll tell you what, he is making contributions in a lot of ways.
Well, and you know what? You're not just a hitter in this game. You're defensive, and in his case, he's not batting in the DH spot, so you need what you can get out of him. And Tyler Bortnick brings that to this team, and he's helped this team. And as you mentioned, he made a play that we did not think he was going to make. Had he not, you guarantee there's a run scoring if that throw is an error.
But and the tying runs in scoring position, Blake Galen takes a breaking ball from Runzler for a called strike. It is 0-1.
And we talk about how much the game can be mental, and that hurts Sugarland because the mentality there is, hey, we're going to get this run across, and now we've got a chance. Well, instead, it's lackluster. It doesn't go for them, and now the momentum continues to stay with the Barnstormers from both the game standpoint and a mental aspect.
No balls and a strike to Blake Galen. Joey Terdoslavich waits on deck. Bortnick leads off first, and he and Runzler stare each other down, and finally the action breaks as Runzler steps off the rubber. Cervenka worked an inning, retired the side in order, striking out one. Pitch is low to Blake. Ball one, strike one here. Dan Runzler spent part or all of 4 seasons in the major leagues with San Francisco. And then with the Pirates last year, he was in 8 games. Gave up 7 hits, 4 runs. Pirates let him go in spring training.
Runzler's 4th game with the Skeeters tonight. A 9-0 ERA.
Second strike is in on Galen. Make it 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He was drafted by the Seattle Mariners, who, by the way, own the MLB's longest playoff drought, postseason drought. They have not been in October baseball since 2001.
Runzler was a couple of years ago with Minnesota in AAA, my hometown of Rochester, New York. He's been around. He's also spent a couple of previous tours of duty with the Skeeters. 15 and 16. To Galen, ground ball through the left side, diving play made by Navarro. He'll get up, he'll hang a throw, but that is wide of the bag. Galen with a base hit, his second of the night. The Barnstormers have runners at first and second. The defense was shifted toward the right side as they have played Galen this whole series, and Galen hit a ground ball that ordinarily would have been right at the shortstop, but in this case it was in whatever hole was left over there on the left side. Navarro, a great stop, but unable to turn it into an out.
Yeah, very close play by Navarro, so give him a little bit of credit too, but the Barnstormers with 2 grounders up the middle, and now runners on, chance to add to this lead before the 9th.
Here's Terdoslavich with a swing and a foul, 0-1. The Barnstormers with a strange night going in that they have 5 runs on the board, and to this point they do not have an RBI hit.
Yeah.
They have a run that is scored on a throwing error, 2 sacrifice flies, and 2 ground balls, driving in runs. Terdoslavich would need a hit here. He's got Bortnick at second, Galen at first. I suppose a double steal is always an option. Here's the pitch, and Joey with a liner into right center field. That's a base hit. It pulls up short.
And you talk about the unorthodox, or well, at least somewhat weird way that this team is scoring the runs. Give them credit for their base path efficiency. Look at the difference here. Left on base, Skeeters have left 6 runners on base, and the Barnstormers just 2 so far. They have been efficient when they get on.
Robinson bats 0-1. The pitch angles inside from Runzler. Ball 1, strike 1. On deck is Castile, and he could get another shot at that franchise record.
Oh, that's right.
He has had a weird series.
What about a record if he got...
Ground ball, base hit left field for Robinson. Here comes Galen to score. Terdoslavich will pull up at second. And Castile, at least right now, unless there's a wild pitch or something, would need a base hit to drive in a run.
And nobody warming up for Sugarland, so this is the inning for Runzler, and it has not been a good one thus far. He's faced 4 batters, all of them making contact.
It is 7-3 Barnstormers, 4 hits in a row to start off the 8th inning, first and second with nobody out. And Corey Domel, the pitching coach, is coming out. A right-hander will begin to throw in the bullpen. That is Connor Wade loosening up for the Sugarland Skeeters.
Well, things have changed just like that, Dave. What a difference an inning can make. And for the Barnstormers, they have been productive by far. But this is what you like to see. Help your bullpen out, get some insurance runs. Yes, it's a non-save situation, assuming Reynolds comes in, but an opportunity for the Barnstormers up by 4 in the 8th inning to earn the series split going into tomorrow morning's tilt.
I thought the crowd looked like last night's. It's darn close, 27-86.
Is that less?
13 less than last night.
Oh, okay.
But you know what I
felt like the crowd
our numbers are up on these early season weeknights from a year ago, which is a positive. First pitch low to Castile, ball 1, no strikes.
Now the weekend was certainly good, but I don't know if that's
weekend
typical.
Was great. No, it was a very good opening weekend. Opening night maybe came up a little bit short because the skies threatened, but especially Sunday was very good for a Sunday early in the year.
And considering the weather, it rained on and off the whole day. People knew that going in.
Ball 2 is low, 2-0.
Just about to say. But, yeah, no, and you know what? The energy, too. I've liked it. Today, maybe crowd has a little bit more to talk about and a little bit more to cheer for. It gets lively here.
7-3 Lancaster, bottom of the 8th inning, still nobody out. Jernaslovich at second, Robinson at first. It is 2-0 to Castile. Here's the pitch, fouled away. Sean Holt last year, and I believe it was against Sugarland in Texas, had a game where he had 6 runs batted in with only 1 hit. He had a grand slam and 2 sac flies. Castile could theoretically match that here.
Yeah.
Ball 3, high and tight.
I was going to ask you, what if he – oh, well, never mind, actually. This would not be a situation. Would he be the first ever to get – no. I'm trying to think of some realistic situations here. So his sac fly option is done.
Unless there's a wild pitch, but that would be ball 4. Here's a 3-1 right there, a second strike, 3-2.
Hey, without a doubt, still a very productive day for Ryan Castile. Sort of unusual.
In the oddest of ways.
In the oddest of ways, yes, but he's tacked on a few RBIs. And really, those have been very important for this team in this game.
Oh, absolutely. 3-2 to Castile. It's a ground ball to short. This could be 2. Navarro is going to go to third and get the lead man instead of taking the option to get the double play. He had the easier throw there. Jernaslovich is forced 6-5. So Ryan Castile, no RBI for you.
No.
But one of the rare times in the series. Now here's Keenan Walker. He'll bat right-handed against Runzler. Keenan tonight is 0-for-3. Robinson now at second with Castile aboard at first. Now Castile now in the series is 0-for-4 with 4 runs batted in. It's just peculiar. You don't come across that terribly often.
No.
He swung the bat well.
It's early in the season. You see some weird things.
Strike on the outside corner to Walker, 0-1. Vladimir Frias on deck. Lancaster leads by 4 here in the 8th inning. And still a chance to produce more.
Yeah. Lots of weird things going on around the world of baseball right now.
Walker bats 0-1. The set and the pitch. Keenan drives it foul out of play to the right. And is down 2 quick strikes.
Including, there's ticket sale issues. There was snow on the fields in April. How about the New York Yankees? 16-1 in their last 17. That's their best 17-game stretch since 1953.
Back in Yogi's day.
Yeah. And of course, Giancarlo Stanton, a huge part of that. Yanks are up right now against the Boston Red Sox. 4-2 last time I checked that score. Phillies are doing very well. It's 11-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning against the Giants.
Aaron Boone has never managed before.
Yeah.
He beat out a friend of mine for that job, but, boy, you can't argue with the decision.
But a lot of people would... Oh.
Inside, that will get away from Norris. The runners will move to second and third. I'll go wild pitch on that one, but we'll see what Joel has decided.
I was thinking the same.
That was way inside. Walker almost got hit by it. He's up there, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And you mentioned,
with 2 men in scoring position.
You mentioned about Aaron Boone. I think of Joe Girardi last year when he was let go, and so many people were surprised. The Yankees were a win away from going to the World Series with a guy who had been there for 10 years. And they let go of him, and people are turning their heads, but right now the results have been good.
Ball 3 is low, into the dirt, saved by Norris. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
This inning
first base open, and we still do not have a decision posted. Now we might.
What do you got here?
Wild pitch.
All right.
We're 2 for 2.
We were right.
We're on the same page as Joel Schreiner tonight.
This has been an awful inning for Runzler.
Here's the pitch. It's popped up. May be playable. Overcomes Norris toward the screen. It's going to be into the ground.
His pitches have just been all over the place. And that one was about 5 feet in front of Walker in the dirt. So this has just been, and this is sort of where Sugarland's been hanging in this game in some ways. Sometimes your pitching can burn you. Last night, 8 walks didn't help the Barnstormers, and tonight, the 8th inning does not help Sugarland.
Infield playing all the way in. Robinson at third, Castile at second. 1 out in the inning. Here's the payoff to Keenan Walker. Check swing, ground ball on the right side. Robinson charging home, and again, they'll throw late, and a run scores, and they don't get it out. Chavez has made that decision twice tonight. I haven't seen the Barnstormers run this aggressively, sending runners from third base on infield ground balls in years. Walker will get the RBI with that as Robinson comes across. It's 8-3. Castile on to third base. And Pete Incaviglia on his way to the mound. He's going to relieve Runzler, who has given up, to this point, 3 runs here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. We've got a pitching change while it takes place. We're going to send you back for these messages.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Vladimir Frias steps in with runners at the corners, 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning, and his ball club leading by 5. A 3-run 8th, and Frias looking to tack on at least 1 more here. Vladimir's 0 for 3. He'll be facing right-hander Connor Wade, a slender 26-year-old from Scottsdale, Arizona. Last pitched in Double-A with the Rockies is a Hartford Yard Goat. The runner takes off from first base. They're going to throw through, and Norris cuts down Keenan Walker. Second out of the inning.
You mentioned they were being aggressive.
Yeah, Walker made the decision to go there. He is out on the play. They give the second out to the Skeeters pitching staff. And Norris actually made a good throw off a tough pitch to handle. That was low.
Yeah.
Ball 1, no strikes to Vladimir. Lancaster left with Castile over at third. Vladimir gets underneath and pops it up. Second baseman Walsh backpedaling onto the outfield lawn. He'll handle it. So a nifty job done by Connor Wade. He throws 2 pitches, gets 2 outs. Lancaster scores 3 runs in the inning, though, on 4 hits with no errors and 1 man left on base. We're headed to the 9th. Lancaster's up 8-3.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all you can eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like word search, with top prizes of 20 grand.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
All right, wrapping down to what could be the end of this game, and in large part thanks to an 8th inning for the Lancaster Barnstormers. They were able to almost bat around as they had 7 come to the plate. A few runs dragging across, and now 7-3 the score in favor of Lancaster with Matt Reynolds up. Excuse me, 8-3 the score, rather.
First pitch to Colin Walsh, inside and low. Ball 1, no strikes from the veteran National League Wester. Matt Reynolds, his entire Major League career in the NL West, and he is high for ball 2. Man, what is going on with the Barnstormers pitching in this series? Reynolds also has not walked a batter yet this year. 4 hits and a run in 4 innings of work. Fastball finds the range. A strike on Walsh. It's 2-1. Lancaster with the 5-run lead tonight. They're just looking for a tidy inning out of Reynolds. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Walsh. We go to 2-2. Walsh was at the plate last inning, batting from the left side, when Albert Cordero was thrown out trying to steal third, leaving too early on Scott Schumann. Swing and a miss. Walsh gone on strikes. Reynolds comes back from the 2-out count, notching the K here.
7th strikeout for Barnstormers pitching. Now it's starting to look a little bit like what it did prior to this series. They were getting a ton of Ks against York in particular.
I just had a chance to at least fly in and out of Reynolds' adopted hometown of Nashville. Ball 1 is high, 1-0 on Ray Navarro. I still haven't toured the city. I understand it's tremendous. The rest of the family's been there.
Don't you hate when you just never have enough time to do everything you want to do?
Ball 2 is inside, 2-0. Second straight batter. 2 outs left to get for the Barnstormers here tonight, up by 5 runs. Matt Reynolds back to work. Ball 3 is outside, 3-0. Top of the order, Anthony Giansani waiting on deck. Poured in for a strike. Navarro taking. He's just trying to get on base. The only hope Sugar Land has is to stack runners here in the top of the 9th inning. 3-1. Reynolds will deliver. That's fouled back. Navarro maybe a little too aggressive there. That might have been ball 4. 3-2 now on the switch hitting shortstop. 0 for 2 with a sac fly tonight. Sugar Land has been held to 6 hits. And the pitch driven to right field and down for a base hit. Navarro takes that one to the wall. Galen will dig it out. Navarro will scamper to second and be in standing with a double.
Navarro able to hit safely now in back-to-back games. No homers tonight, but he does get a double, and he just sees a pitch down that sort of stays in the strike zone a little longer than I think Reynolds was hoping for. He was hoping maybe some late break there that would kind of deceive the hitter. Didn't happen. And as you mentioned, you know, the Skeeters, if they want to get back into this, they're down to 2 outs to save themselves, and they trail by 5 runs. It's going to take a heck of an effort, but sort of similar to last night. Both teams are not hitting the baseball particularly bad.
7 hits for Sugar Land. Here is Giansani, 0 for 3. And a ball is inside at low 1-0. Thought he might get up again, and he does. Try and extend that hitting streak.
Here's a chance.
Galen's on-base streak is extended. I'll have to look how he finished up last year. Ball pulled down the left field line, hooking, and a foul ball into the ivy in the left field corner. Giansani will come back and face a 1-ball, 1-strike pitch from Matt Reynolds.
And that ball stays 3 feet to the right. It's a fair ball off the pole for a home run.
I don't think it was high enough since it hit the brick wall. It hit the ivy.
Oh, right.
Definitely extra bases. And at this point, it really doesn't make a difference. As far as the game is concerned.
Yeah.
They just need base runners. Giansani up there 1-1. The pitch, swing and a miss. Reynolds had him pulled away on a changeup. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Matt Reynolds back with the Barnstormers. He used a stay here in 2016 as a springboard back to the major leagues. Trying to do it again. 1-2, and that is rocked out to left center. Scooting back is Sanford. Darian still going. He squares up and makes the catch for out number 2. Tagging is Navarro. He is coming all the way around. Here's a throw to the plate, and he is out at home. He gets doubled up, trying to score all the way from second for the final out of the ball game. Well, he tried to add some excitement, but that's an unfortunate out for the Sugar Land Skeeters. They're going to argue it, but what are they doing?
Wow.
Last out of the game, you're down by 5, and that ends up being a double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We'll have the line totals coming your way next. Our final score this evening, the Barnstormers 8 and the Sugar Land Skeeters 3.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding third row. Room for up to 7. And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
The Sugar Land Skeeters being aggressive on the bases, but one of the cardinal rules, I would guess, one of those unwritten rules is that when you're down by multiple runs, you don't make the final out of the game on the base pass, and they did. 8-3-2 goes the double play. I saw it developing, and if that had been a 1-run game, what a play that would have been. Darian Sanford had to go all the way back to the warning track out in left center field on that deep drive by Anthony Giansani. Ray Navarro tagged up at second, and there was no let-up. He hit third. He was coming. And the relay throw from Joey Terdoslavich, perfect into home. Castile laid the tag down, and although it was a close play, Bill Worthington rendered the decision in favor of the Barnstormers. Navarro was out, and the Barnstormers win tonight by a score of 8-3, so they'll pull back to within a game and a half of the Sugar Land Skeeters. York right there with the Barnstormers at 7-5. Tonight, 8 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and only 3 left for the Barnstormers. I cannot say enough about the efficiency of the Barnstormers offense here tonight. They, in this game, and this is truly remarkable, scored 5 runs from third base, the difference in the game, on outs.
Yep.
I call them productive outs, and those won the game for the Barnstormers tonight. You strike out with the runner at third in those situations, you might not win this game, but there were 3 sacrifice flies, or check that, 2 sacrifice flies and 3 ground balls. Driving in runners from third base in the game tonight.
And when you leave guys on base, sometimes you're just flirting with disaster for a chance to lose this game. And that's what happened to Sugar Land because they had 6 guys on base. Now, this was a 5-run difference. There were a couple of times where, and base running, let's be frank here, there was some poor base running, and we saw it at the end of the game. We saw it on the run from second to third that Bortnick was able to make the tag on third in the 8th inning. There were a couple of just some ill-advised base running, and this was able to favor the Lancaster Barnstormers. Credit their defense, and especially Ryan Castile behind the plate, because I thought he made a couple of excellent plays at that position.
Well, I won't say it was not a bad base running decision in the 8th inning. Cordero just left a little bit too soon, allowing Schumann to make that play.
Right.
If he times it a little bit better coming off second, that's a double steal. They might get the tying runs in the scoring position, but Cordero left too soon, giving the Barnstormers the opportunity to make the play at third. Again, 8 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 3 left for Lancaster. Sugar Land, 3 runs on 7 hits with 1 error, 7 men left on base. Tommy Shirley gets the win. Again, we talked about a bumpy ride at times tonight for Tommy, but he brought the plane down for a smooth landing, a 1-2-3 5th inning, kept himself in position for the win. He got the win. He's 2-0, and a loss to Mitch Talbot, who is 1-1. Talbot didn't pitch badly, not 5 runs in 6 innings badly, but again, the Barnstormers were just able to build on every scoring opportunity they had in the ball game tonight. There was 1 home run in the game, and it belonged to Sugar Land. They've out-homered the Barnstormers now 5-0 in the series. And again, it was Albert Cordero batting right-handed, going the other way. Barnstormers cannot cool him off from the right side of the plate. 2 hours, 52 minutes, the time of our game tonight, 27-86. The crowd here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers victorious 8-3 over the Sugar Land Skeeters, forcing a rubber game of this 3-game series tomorrow. We'll be back with more here tonight right after these messages.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st, at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
Along with Andrew Mossbrook, Dave Collins, back with you from Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers victorious this evening, 8-3. We've talked at length about the efficiency of the Barnstormers' offense here tonight. Every chance they had to get a runner home from third base in this game, they did, and that's absolutely brilliant. They just kept scoring the runs one at a time. There were never really any big hits, per se, for the Barnstormers in this game, but guys just coming that final 90 feet from third to home. There are nights you don't see that, and tonight the Barnstormers were absolutely perfect getting the runs across.
And it was not easy to do against Mitch Talbot because we talk about him allowing 5 earned runs, but he went over 6 innings pitched, did very well. The players had to be patient at the plate. They had to wait a little bit because he was throwing some good stuff. He was having early pitch counts. He walked into the third inning with under 40 pitches thrown. Talbot was pitching efficiently, and the Barnstormers just able to get to him. And again, once getting on base, they were threatening. That is what this team's sort of MO has been on the early goings. Just get them on base. They can play small ball with the best of any team. They were able to do that tonight. We talk about only 1 home run. That belonged to the Skeeters. But the Barnstormers, what a bounce back from last night because they had good hitting last night, just not able to get it all the way around to home. Tonight they do, and they split the series at 1 apiece.
The night for the Barnstormers started off with what I now dub a Darian Sanford home run. He blooped the base hit into left center, stole second, stole third, drew a bad throw, came home to score.
Yep.
1-0 Barnstormers, and then in the second inning, Trayvon Robinson roped a triple to deep right center field. He scored on a sacrifice fly by Ryan Castile. You want to talk about a guy taking advantage of his chances to drive in runs. He's been unbelievable. And the Barnstormers were up 2-0. Sugar Land tied the ball game in the fourth. A leadoff home run the other way by Albert Cordero. The Barnstormers need to find a way to pitch to him as a right-handed batter. He is 4 for 4 in the series right-handed, including 2 opposite field home runs. 1 out later, Barrett Barnes ripped a double just fair inside the bag at third. He would move up on a single left by Colin Walsh and score on a Ray Navarro sacrifice fly. So it was 2-2. Lancaster would right away break the tie. And again, it was picking up that runner from third base with fewer than 2 outs. I have in the past been known sometimes to criticize a ball club for not getting those runs home. This ball club has been remarkable at doing it. It is one of their strongest suits. In the fourth inning, Joey Turdoslavich with a 1-out walk. Trayvon Robinson hit with a check swing, doubled against the defense, sneaking a ball inside the bag at third down the line. And again, it was Castile coming through with a sacrifice fly to right field, driving in Turdoslavich. The Barnstormers at that point up 3-2. They would tack on 2 more runs in the sixth inning. Tyler Bortnick led off with a walk. Blake Galen singled to right center with Bortnick wheeling all the way to third. Joey Turdoslavich again got the ball in play with a runner at third base. A check swing chopper over toward first. Matt Chavez decided to throw to the plate. It really didn't look like he had a chance there to get the out at home. Bortnick scored easily. Turdoslavich safe at first on the fielder's choice. Trayvon Robinson bounced into a force out at second, and our man Ryan Castile came up again. First and third, 1 out, and with Robinson in motion, Castile grounded out the shortstop again, driving in a run from third base. The Barnstormers were up 5-2. One of those runs was picked up by Sugar Land in the seventh inning in an odd manner, a walk, an infield out, a pass ball, and a ground out to third, 5-3, and it was a 5-3 ball game. The Barnstormers survived the scare on the top of the eighth. Scott Schumann had walked 2 batters, runners, the tying runs at the time, first and second with 2 outs. Albert Cordero broke too soon from second base, and on his second awkward arrival of the night at a base, he was tagged out stealing by Tyler Bortnick again on a wonderful reception and tag made by Bortnick to keep the lead at 5-3. Lancaster put it away in the bottom of the eighth inning. 4 straight base hits, Bortnick, Galen, Turdoslavich, and Robinson. And later on, an RBI, fielder's choice grounder by Keenan Walker. The Barnstormers again taking advantage of all their chances to score tonight. 8 runs with only 8 hits, a couple of walks, just 3 men left on base. You can't play it much better than the Barnstormers did here tonight.
And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get those all 126 games of the season, but the Barnstormers were doing so many good things over that 5-game win streak, and then it ended against York on Sunday, and all of a sudden the team forgot how to hit that game, and then Tuesday, not the result you would have liked against Sugar Land, but maybe a wake-up call of sorts because you're playing York, and we talk about how good they've been, of course, beating Southern Maryland again today, not by as much as they did the night before, but, this is a good division. Sugar Land, though, maybe just a big step more than what you play with the Revs, and so, you sort of see that measuring stick in game one of this series. Okay, we know how good this team is. Now we see it firsthand. They beat us 9-2. They hand it to us in our own ballpark. There's a bit of a pride factor in there, too. They took advantage of your field, and you weren't able to do the same going up against a lefty on the mound for them. But then they get it back tonight, an 8-3 victory for the Barnstormers. And you mentioned that 8th inning. Go back to that because it could have been a run coming across for Sugar Land. Had Bortnick not been able to make that good play over at third base, in part from Castile's throw. And if it's a one-run game going into the bottom of the 8th, I don't know that we see a difference from the Barnstormers' plate approach, but maybe there is a little bit more stress at those at-bats. Maybe you're squeezing the bat a little bit harder, trying to feel like you have to pull something. Instead, they go in a bit more stress-free. They put a few runs across in the 8th to put the nail in the coffin for Reynolds, who was set up to get the win in the 9th.
The Barnstormers win this one by the score of 8-3. We'll have the rubber game of this series coming up tomorrow. We'll preview that in just a little while. Meanwhile, there was plenty of action in the Atlantic League, most of it in the daytime today. The York Revolution outlasted Southern Maryland 3-2. The Blue Crabs are indeed struggling in the early going here in the Atlantic League. They won their opener, and they're just 1-9 since then. 2-9 overall for Southern Maryland. They bring up the rear in the Freedom Division. They're 4.5 games behind the next closest team because Sugar Land, York, and the Barnstormers are all off to pretty good starts here on the Freedom side of the league. Long Island defeated New Britain today. 7-4 was that final. The Ducks will improve to 6-5. New Britain down to 3-8. And the Somerset Patriots swept the Road Warriors 4-3 in Game 1, 7-6 in Game 2 of that doubleheader. The Patriots now have the best record in the league at 9-3. They are no stranger to hot starts, and the Road Warriors dropped to 4-8 with the doubleheader loss. And with it being a Wednesday, a full slate of Major League Baseball, the Phillies just bombing the Giants. It's 11-1, bottom half of the 8th inning in Philadelphia. The Red Sox have turned the tables on the Yankees. Boston is up 6-5 in the top half of the 8th inning, an opportunity for Boston to score more there. Toronto leading Seattle 5-2 into the top of the 9th inning at the Rogers Center. It's now a final in Tampa. The Atlanta Braves winning 5-2. Julio Teheran, another great start for Tampa Bay, carried a no-hitter into the 7th inning. Last time out, he had it for a few innings tonight. Nats and the Padres, no score. They're in the bottom of the 3rd inning in San Diego. Earlier, the Reds toppled the Mets 2-1 in 10 innings. Cleveland defeated Milwaukee 6-2, the final score. The Texas Rangers nipping Detroit 5-4. That took 10 innings. Pittsburgh playing pretty well, 6-5 over the Chicago White Sox earlier today. It was the Cubs wasting the Marlins 13-4. Things are not going too well under the Derek Jeter ownership down in South Florida.
No.
The L.A. Angels of Anaheim 8-0, a shutout victory at Denver earlier today, and that's not easy to do. The Houston Astros winning out at Oakland 4-1. The Orioles victorious over the Kansas City Royals 5-3 tonight. Diamondbacks are at the Dodgers coming up in a little while. Lancaster Barnstormers not this series at a game apiece, 8-3. Lancaster over Sugar Land tonight. The Barnstormers making the most out of their 8 hits and 2 walks picked up here this evening, bringing in all the runners they had at third base along the way tonight. We'll have the rubber game of the series at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. It is Baseball and Education Day here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, so join Andrew and myself beginning with the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report at 10:45 tomorrow morning. So until then, for Andrew, for Joey Greer, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and come tomorrow, drink your coffee, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's